And they're generous enough with the mount drops that it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Well, and especially like if there was just beating the raid on hard, it tended to have a mount.
Well, that was in WoW.
Yeah.
I was talking more about FF14.
Gotcha.
Dare I ask? One sec. I need to get to the watch together thing.
Oh,
He's just running videos from your old.
I literally just grabbed random live streams that you did.
Fair enough.
Volume check.
We are audible.
Which is today? No.
Yeah. Oh, if only.
No, that is not today's sponsor.
Yeah.
Yes, who's sponsoring today?
Apparently, that's what. I forget what his name. Dr. Disrespect did in his early days to get sponsors. He started just doing sponsorships for free and for companies he liked until someone took notice that the company would take pity on him or something, and so they throw him some bones.
Did it ever work?
Yeah, well, it worked. Like it got him. Like it.
Well, that's funny.
He's one of the biggest streamers, but that was his strategy that he just came up with. It's just like, I'll just pick products I like, advertise for them, and it shows potential advertisers that I'll do a good job.
Didn't you try to do something like that with Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, I didn't officially do something like that. I thought about it.
Well, I'm just curious, did he make it like a full-on promo, or did he say, "Oh, I'm not actually sponsored, but I really like this"? Or
I don't know. I don't know specifics. It was just something that someone brought up. One of these guys who talks about ideas to, and I'm just like, that's a bold strategy, Cotton.
This episode is brought to you by the word doctor, by the abbreviated doctor without a period.
So I have a list. I have some general hints that I think I'll start with at least one or two of them, just to like of the hints of just like to position the guesses more, because I know that a lot of you will not necessarily be doing more than
it's going to be hard
guessing.
for a lot of us.
Are they in chronological order?
I have organized them in chronological order.
Okay.
Yes.
We get to do at least some guessing first, right?
Yeah. I won't give any specific hints. If you want to blind guess, feel free to blind guess, and then I will just I can give hints as we go. I guess unravel and layer.
Because I kind of want to at least blind guess which Fire Emblem just.
that was going to be my first guess. Is which Fire Emblem?
I think that'd be a great opening conversation after I get done with everything.
Sure.
I just do the intro because that is.
I just laughed because the list is in Suikoden font.
Yeah,
Which font?
I didn't update it. I need to fix that.
It's in the font from mine.
Yeah, it is.
No worries.
Let's see. What's the Fire Emblem font? It's actually a generic font.
Yeah, it should be in Fire Emblem font. Yeah.
Look, you could also just go and put it in Courier New, and that'll make sense for something later. But good old typewriter font.
That always makes me think of not that, but just talking about fonts always makes me think of the meme. It's a picture of Ariel with hipster glasses on, and it says, "My name is Helvetica."
Give it the Times New Roman.
It's Comic Sans.
I struck down Helvetica.
Was this it?
New Romans for a new
No,
century.
that wasn't it. I thought it was called Denmark.
Ah, dang it.
Denmark.
Still upset I don't own this game.
Sorry, I've done it.
Logo.
It's expensive.
It's a modified,
Blazing, right?
Okay, a custom fold called Modified Nocturne
Path of
Serif
Radiance.
Medium Italic.
Oh,
Yeah, I found the one I was looking for.
Okay.
I only own one Fire Emblem game if you don't count Heroes. And that's
Yeah, no,
3,000.
this one from this is Radiant Dawn.
Well, I feel like Heroes gives you a taste of all of them, though. At
That's-
least all the characters.
That's
It
what
gives
I'm
you-
arguing for myself.
So it gives you a taste of all the characters, and in many ways, at least with some of the initial things and like some of the maps, it gave you a taste of
Yes.
some of the maps. They hyper crushed them down, but
Mm-hmm.
into the because Fire Emblem Heroes wanted to do the thing where one screen could contain the entire map, so there was no scrolling. Some other like mobile strategy games have tried to do. It's like, hey, it's a bigger map and you can scroll around, whatever, but they're not nearly as successful. One, because they don't have the Fire Emblem name, but two, I think it really just works better on a mobile screen to be able to see the whole map at a glance. Simplify to the point of oversimplifying, and you get a lot more like casual players.
Yeah.
So back to the font discussion. There was have y'all ever heard of the show Game Changers?
Yes.
It's a web show. There was a video, like a prompt. It's
I
like
can
a
post
it's
it if you
an improv.
haven't.
Oh, I've already got it.
You have it on
Um,
hook. Awesome.
Yeah, but there's a prompt. It was the inevitable meeting between Times New Roman and
Comic Sans.
Comic Sans, and he goes into like this just dark monologue, and somebody in a comment just said, "I can't wait for season 2 of Game of Fonts."
Oh gosh.
All right. Well, I am now ready. So if we could all go silent, and I'll get this started.
Let's hit it.
Today is the day. We are doing the top 16 games to get to know Mythril Zenith. He won the drawing last time. This will be interesting because the last few times we've done it, it's been mostly people either guessing or Army who have lived with me. So we had a fairly good understanding and good predictions. Mythril, on the other hand, has never lived with any of us, but is a good person overall. I'm going to throw out what I hope is the free space. Because Mythril, you tend to come in late because you're playing Final Fantasy XIV. Is Final Fantasy XIV on the list?
You know what?
Uh-oh.
It is on my honorable mentions.
No!
It didn't quite make
Oh,
the cut.
no!
I
free
know
space.
the
It was
feeling.
very
You
close.
No free
see
space.
now. You understand.
It was close. Like, here's the thing. I play it all the time with my friends. I think it's like it definitely has good reasons to be on the list, and some might argue that it deserves to be on the list over some of these. But I don't know. When I think of games that like define me, I feel less defined by FF14 than I do by some of these other ones. Or not even just defined, but like...
Okay, well then we have to go with
Agreed.
the next question on the list.
Ooh.
Is there a Final Fantasy on the list?
Is there a Final Fantasy on the list? There is not.
Oh,
Wow.
No free
Okay.
space.
I didn't grow up with Final Fantasy.
I thought this.
You know,
I thought
this is gonna
14 would
be a-
be one of your last ones.
It was, it was pretty close to making it, but it did get cut. But yeah, I grew up. Weirdly enough, the very first Final Fantasy game I played was Crystal Chronicles, which is not a real Final Fantasy.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's
Wow.
Yeah.
weird.
game. It like
I mean,
honestly
That was
musical.
GameCube, right?
Yeah, it was GameCube. Music alone
And Game Boy
almost had
Advance.
me put it on my list, but it's no.
See, well,
Okay.
if we're going by music
Okay.
alone, you could do Final Fantasy Mystic Quest because
Oh
I
gosh.
never played Mystic Quest.
it's one of the lower rated games, but the soundtrack is incredible.
It is.
Mm,
Yeah,
Okay.
the music from it is pretty cool.
Okay. Well,
I need
the
to
free
remind
spaces-
myself on
Any
the
more
soundtrack of
blind
that.
guesses before I get into?
No, so just I'll do it real
hints.
quick for those of you who are new here. The way this works is the person in question, they have to pick the 16 games you have to play to understand them. This might not necessarily be like your favorites because that just because you like it doesn't mean people who play it will understand you by playing it. So these are the games that kind of define you, type of thing.
Yeah, I will say these games are a mix of the enjoyment I got out of them, the memories I have of them, and maybe the impact that they had on me in return. Not necessarily the best games or even my favorite games, and I did limit myself to one game per franchise or per series.
Oh,
there is
man.
one that has an extra like caveat because there's also a spin-off, but I allowed that.
Okay.
Okay.
It's your list.
So,
now I gotta ask, how many, like your initial list, how many games did you go up to?
I think I peaked at around like 25 and then narrowed down from there. Yeah,
All
I
right.
have in
a
recent
guess.
years played a decent number of games, but I think that, growing up, I did not actually play a lot of games. I didn't have a lot of games.
Okay.
I have a guess, and it's partly because I don't remember something specific, but I feel like you were part of this, and Splice will laugh at me if I'm wrong. Is Smash Bros. Brawl on there?
I did not put a Smash Bros on my list.
Okay.
But
Oh, man.
is how I met all of you. Is
Yeah, because I thought you were in Smash
yeah.
Bros. I thought that's how we
when you were
got
running
to know
Brawl,
you.
it was balanced Brawl. But yeah, that hits my honorable mentions because of that, but I don't... Oh, you
on the
think you
list.
do, Elat. Hello. Welcome to chat.
Well, let's get things out of the way,
Wow.
because Mythril, you are known as the Fire Emblem guy.
Yeah, that's why.
Oh, that
Some
was going to be my
might say.
guess.
No, I know. I have which Fire Emblem I want to guess.
So that's the part, because he said one per franchise. So
There
Which
is
one?
a Fire Emblem on the list.
I
There is
figured.
one FE on the list.
I don't think it's the Colgate one you're showing now.
no, but the Colgate
God.
one has
You
people
don't
from
think the newest Fire Emblem is going to be
Oh,
Look,
God.
it has characters from a lot of different Fire Emblems, though, so it is a very appropriate choice. I am
Okay,
on
fair
point.
enough.
It's like Heroes.
I tried to
It's
love
like
it.
Heroes.
I tried.
Oh.
Well, I'll
So,
let the
yeah,
people
no,
who
it's
actually
not
know Fire
engaged.
Emblem to start making guesses.
Okay,
No, it
okay,
is not
okay.
engage.
How about this? Pirate, you say yours, and then I say mine, and then Mythril tells us if either of us are right.
And is it
Okay.
going to be like a higher or lower type
I've
thing?
I've got a
we
third
could
one
do
to
it.
throw
There
in.
are 17 games in the
Okay.
series. We could go
I know,
higher
like,
or lower.
we go all over.
All
So,
right. So which one's
I-
yours?
I guess I'll start. I'm gonna guess Fates.
Okay, I'm going to guess Generations of the Holy War.
Okay, can I guess one too?
No, and no.
I'll guess
Baggins,
what's
after
your
Baggins.
guess?
Can I guess Path of Radiance?
Oh, that was my guess, so no. I'm done. I'm out of...
Baggins is the closest, but
So
not
Radiant Dawn?
exactly right.
Radiant Dawn, then?
Yes, Radiant
Words of
Dawn.
Radiance?
Radiant Dawn was what would have been
Radiant
my
Dawn is the one sec because this is 9th.
Ninth.
Because
Right.
it was ordered on.
Okay, middle.
It came out 2007. So Radiant Dawn is on my list, not necessarily because it's my favorite. I mean, I would still consider it top 3 Fire
Must be
Emblems
like
for me.
Ike.
it's phenomenal.
It's Sacred Stones, Path of Radiance, and Radiant Dawn all fight for my top 3 personally.
Okay.
That's fair.
Radiant Dawn, because this is a game that shaped my outlook on a lot of the ways that games could be, a lot of the ways that like some of the concepts that it explored in its story, particular the way it handled like order versus chaos and using multiple different factions that you're all controlling, all fighting against each other. I think it's very interesting, and I think in many ways, like a lot of people have that core formative RPG that they played, like maybe not the very first RPG they played, but like an early one that like, oh, this is what games can be. And for me, Radiant Dawn was that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got it for Christmas the year it came out. I still have the case with me today. I love this game, and even though I haven't played it in like 10 years, I can still remember it, a lot of it, very clearly.
It's also worth some money.
Yeah, it is, and I've been
I'm
very
not-
tempted to sell it at several
I am not
times because I don't
suggesting
even
that
have
you
a
sell
functional Wii to play it on
Oh boy.
right now. but
yeah, it's worth some serious dough. And
Yeah.
yeah,
just-
it's Radiant Dawn is like 150. I think Path of Radiance is the one that's 300, and there's a whole story with that of we owned it, and then my brother gave it to one of his friends for a birthday, because technically it was like my brother's, and then just let him keep it. And then
wow.
years later, we come to find out,
Ooh.
oh, that game actually turned out to be worth like $300+.
I've got my copy.
Oh,
That reminds me,
yeah.
I think I still, somewhere in my old house, I think I still have my buddy's Super Game Boy. I think I borrowed it in 1998.
Wow.
oh man.
Yeah, Fire Emblem 8 is definitely the Fire Emblem that I have played the most runs through, the most times, maybe the most hours total. It depends on how you cut it. It doesn't like measure all your hours across all playthroughs, but FE10 was my pick for Fire Emblem.
Well, it's a great Fire Emblem game. It's a great sequel, which it doesn't feel like a cheap sequel. It's just a really good one.
In a series that's known for anthology, it's one of, if not the only, true hard sequel. Okay, not the only, but it's one of the few true hard sequels they've done. Overall, I think they did a great job. I think there are a couple moments with its story that they're problematic. They basically writ themselves into a corner and had to do something to get themselves out of it. For those in the know, I'm talking the Blood Pact. And not even just the Blood Pact itself, but just some of the specific ways it was handled. But honestly, outside of a couple small details like that, I still think it did a really great job at telling its story. And yeah, I will defend it to the death, even though I know it has issues, because it was just that special game for me. My writing and personal fiction world that I've done D&D campaigns on is still based on a lot of the ideas of order versus chaos that I first saw explored in Radiant Dawn.
All right. Well, that mystery solved. I have
So we got the easy one out of the way.
Okay, I have one more
now
guess.
we gotta.
I have one more blind guess I want to do because, and this is all based on a thumbnail I remember from at this point a while ago, and I want to guess Pokemon TCG for the Game Boy.
Yes, that is definitely
Yes!
that is the spin-off that is on the list.
Nice.
The reason
Okay, so there's another Pokemon game.
That
the
is from a
thumbnail
live
for it.
stream.
I just remember he went live streaming, which he doesn't stream live that often.
It was
And-
the day it came out on NSO, or the day
And
after.
I just remember just seeing his thumbnail come. Oh, he doesn't normally stream, and it just said, I'm a kid again" in big bold text, and I'm just like, oh, I guess he really likes it. I have no concept of this game. It sounds nuts to me because it is a video game based on a card game based on a video game, and so it's
Based on a candy bar.
Yeah,
And
it's the beam at this
So
point.
number 6, this came out year 2000.
Gotcha.
And the
At least
music for it is
international.
amazing.
Yeah, go watch if you haven't. There is an 8-bit music theory video on
Oh, really?
the ways that they had to, like, the things they did in order to basically make it sound like there are more instruments than physically possible for a Game Boy Color game to play.
Okay, I'm
You said
intrigued.
you said it was 2000.
2000, yeah. So number 6. I can find that and post it in just our general chat here.
I also just want on the record, I just beat Gold Stake with reserved parking.
Oh, nice.
Nice. That's like what? 6, 7 left now.
Yeah, something like that.
So, like, I learned about this game just because I was listening to a video game music station while working, and then music comes on for this. I'm like, wow, this is Game Boy music, but this is really good Game Boy music. What in the world is it? And I'm like,
There's not a
Pokemon
lot for
trading
which
card game.
there's
What?
not a lot for which that's true. Because
Yeah, it is.
if you thought the NES sound card was limited, holy crap, the game.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is a 3-channel system, but yeah. So I love card games, but I've never had anyone really to play card games with. I've never been a person to like travel out to like Dragon's Lair or whatever the different like card shops are and play. I did a little bit in college, but Pokemon TCG on Game Boy Color was such a good simulator of card games and is, in my mind, the definitive, like, what card RPGs should be. And it's sad that the only other, like, times we've seen, like, actual card RPGs is there was one-off from Magic the Gathering, the Chandelar one. And then a bunch of the Yu-Gi-Oh games. But even then, they mix in a lot of, like, weird mechanics. But
oh yeah.
the music is great. The way that they handle the collection is great. Like, everyone you beat just gives you 1 or 2 packs, and then you slowly build up from there. And it's also the memories, because I got this, I was like 5 or 6... No, I would have been 5 years old before I went into kindergarten, because I was going with my mom as she finished her master's degree, and I would just sit in the back of the classroom while she studied or did things. I was 5 years old and just play on my Game Boy. Hooked up a little headset to my little green Game Boy Color, and I remember having a, let's be real, totally awful deck that is unplayable today because, you know, what does like a 5 or 6 year old know about building a deck? But I remember having like a Geodude that, like, you have to flip coins, and every time you get heads, it increases the attack until you get a tails. And I think I figured out that the game was like there was a timing thing to it. Maybe it was just luck, but I felt like if I hit A right as, because it was like a turning coin animation, right as the animation hit a certain point, it would always get heads. And I swear I actually did get like a series of like 8 heads in a row somehow. Could have also just been blind luck.
Oh, so literally the entire meme of the terminal montage video for the card game.
Exactly. But, you know, I was doing that myself, you know, pre-internet days. This game is representative of my childhood in a lot of ways.
If you haven't seen the TCG terminal montage, I don't get the context, but they had a thing with someone's Eevee and they just kept flipping the correct, like, heads or tails, and the Eevee's tail, like, it grew more tails, and the tails became fists. It's insane.
It's great.
Anyway.
Sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I gotta step away for a sec.
Okay,
No
but
worries.
that was
Any more?
That's all I had for my blind guess.
Any more blind guesses before I start going into general hints?
Trying to think.
I would assume there'd be. Yeah.
Trying to think. Are you in the Monster Hunter games at all?
I do like myself a good Monster Hunter.
Okay, how about if I guess Monster Hunter 3?
So
4?
3 was where I started, but it's not the one that I put on my list. But there is a Monster Hunter on the list.
Yes. Okay. At least I'm glad that I got a series.
Yes, it is newer than 3.
What Monster Hunter are they on right now?
So they did numbered through 4, and then they started doing not numbered, so they'd World,
Subtitled.
Rise, and Wilds. I guess Generations as well was a thing.
I still think of Monster Rancher every time. I was like, oh, no, not that one.
A little bit different.
A little different.
Just a bit.
It's just a little different.
Any guesses on which other Monster Hunter?
I don't know any. This is a series I don't know.
That's fair.
Again, or
Wild is popular right now, but that's all I know.
okay.
Popular? Are you sure that's what the
That's not what I'm
overwhelmingly
hearing
negative
right now.
reviews on Steam are? Like, here's the thing. I love Wilds. When I play it, it feels great. There's nothing to do when I boot up the game.
Well, okay. I'm trying to think. If you're more of the mobile player with the DS, then the 3DS is 4, so I'd go with 4. But if you're more playing stuff on the PC, I would guess World. So, I don't know. So, I'm gonna go with 4 because of the mobile nature.
It is not 4. 4 is one that I did not actually play. I skipped from 3 to 3 Ultimate to Generations.
Oh, okay.
I missed out on 4.
5.
It's also not World, to be honest.
Okay, it's not World either. All right.
6.
So if that narrows it down,
I'm helping.
they stopped numbering them after 4.
Okay. Well, he's mentioned Generations, so I'm gonna guess that's probably the one then.
No, I think we've narrowed it down enough.
It's Rise.
It's Rise. It is number
Rise? Okay.
15, I believe, on my
Yeah, one of
list.
the newer
The
ones.
I was on the
second
other
newest.
I was
I
on the
don't-
other
I
side
don't
of
know
my
the
house,
new
and it was
ones
like, "It's
were-
Rise!
yeah.
It's Rise!"
No worries. Rise was the last one on the Switch. And then it got a PC release. Technically, I didn't even buy this one for myself. My brother bought it for me, Rise and Sunbreak, because he wanted someone to play Monster Hunter with.
Which number did you say
I
this
didn't
was?
realize Rise was on the Switch.
15.
Huh.
What year was it?
2021.
Gotcha.
Granted, I haven't really kept up with the newer ones.
Yeah,
I
no worries.
honestly
World-
I only got 3 because it came with a free Pro controller for the Wii.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Oh.
Yeah, World was not on the Switch. Rise was specifically for the Switch. Then I think they had like a Generations 2, and then they went back with Wilds on PC and PlayStation.
Yeah, I had a coworker who was really into Monster Hunter, and that's all I knew about
Yeah.
it.
So I had a hard time picking which Monster Hunter to put on here, to be perfectly honest. I picked Rise ultimately because I feel like it just has the best balance of player-friendly progression whilst also giving you a lot of stuff to do and a lot of stuff to grind for. With particularly in Sunbreak, not necessarily in base Rise, but Sunbreak with the Afflicted Monster grind, it is a long grind, but you're constantly getting stuff that you can use to make marginal upgrades to your equipment and whatnot, which at the point you basically have like top end equipment or like second from top equipment. And it kills me that they've never done this decoration system since Rise, but they have a system where basically you can pick which decorations you want. Is it decorations or talismans? Whichever ones you put into your sockets. And you make them like you would make any other armor or weapons. You know, you have to have the gem and you have to have the different monster parts, but then you can target and make it so that way it's like, hey, I want sleep immunity. That means you need 3 sleep resist gems. And so you can go through, figure out what you need, and make those 3 gems. Unfortunately, other games have always made decorations total random drops. Like, hey, you got a gem that has Bombardier on it. You got a gem that has sleep resist on it. You got a gem that has affinity on it. And it's just like, great, I need 3 of a very specific gem or one that drops with like really high levels. And they kept some of that randomness in like talisman drops, which are like an extra equipment slot that gives you some abilities. But I liked having at least the decorations be something you can go out of your way to get, because primarily what those are used for are either very key skills with your weapon that's like, look, I'm not going to be using a switch axe without faster switch times, for instance. Or things like, I want to fight poison monsters, I need poison immunity. And so being able to target that gets into what I love about Monster Hunter, which is the balance between prep and action. And the older games focused a lot more on the preparation, how you build your inventory, what you buff up with, what things you're equipping yourself with. And the later games seem to focus more on just action, just getting into the world, getting out onto the hunt. And I feel like Rise, for me, had a very good balance of the two, where it was primarily action, but had enough focus on the prep that you still always had things that you felt like you could work for. And so it doesn't matter if you're playing for 20 hours or like 100 hours, you are still having goals and having things to build up for. Plus, the gameplay just feels really good and really smooth. And going back from Wilds, which ran on my computer but was like kind of shaky frame rate, to Rise, which was easy, solid 60, no problems, was crazy.
Like, yeah, that's always weird whenever there's a jump in the generations. God, I couldn't think of words. Okay. Yeah. I forgot. I did have one more guess of a random thing. Is Doom Eternal on this list?
Not Eternal.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh,
We
there is
have
a
information.
Then
Not even Doom music.
not in any DM,
Mhm.
but then I know you've been playing Dark Ages.
I made the list before Dark Ages came out, and
Okay.
Dark Ages is not on the list. I will
Okay, so
say.
then I'm guessing 2016.
2016. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
2016 is
Why 16
honestly
over Eternal? This is very interesting to me.
because Eternal sucks on the higher
Ooh.
difficulties. Okay, no, Eternal's very fun. Eternal gets the movement like super perfect, super fluid. I love it.
What
But
number
Eternal
is this?
has a problem. Okay, sorry. This is number 14.
Gotcha.
So 2016 is number 14. 2021 is number 15. So
Okay, so there's a
that's
gap.
kind of the scale we have.
Bit
There's
of a gap there.
yeah, no games came out in that gap apparently. 2016 is the first shooter that really got me hooked on, okay, maybe I can actually like first person shooters because I
Okay.
tried various Call of Duty games, wasn't really into them. You know, I played like the old Doom games, and before I played 2016, I was like, yeah, they're okay, but I didn't really buy into it a lot. After playing 2016, it got me. It hooked me. It was like, oh, this is what shooters can be. This is fun. It's straight up, it's just fun. It's just so good, so fun. All the weapons feel great. All the enemies feel good to fight. And while Eternal boosted the movement system and made that really fun and really fast paced, and some of the weapons in Eternal are, I don't know. My issues with Eternal are not the ammo system. Like, I think the chainsaw reload and stuff, it's good, fast, arcadey action. My issue is with the way that they use their enemies and specific weakness and vulnerabilities,
Okay.
particularly the way that they stack towards the end of the game. Like, I'm fine if, like, okay, Cacodemons, you shoot a grenade into their mouth. Mancubi, you armor punch their armor off and then blow up their hands. You know, the different stuff you do, I'm fine with that. But when every single enemy has a different vulnerability and then you're stacking them all at once, this also, I don't like it because I love playing on harder difficulties, where
Gotcha.
basically you get hit like 2 or 3 times and you're dead. And
Yeah,
so when it's like,
that's never
okay,
been Doom for me.
yeah, and that probably is the reason why Eternal, you know, it's just that edge of difficulty that I feel pushes too far. Because, like, what am I supposed to do when I'm fighting the final boss and it spawns an archvile in a place that I physically cannot see and cannot get to, but is still summoning mass amounts of hypercharged demons?
The answer:
I
kill
guess
it.
I'll lose. Well, I can't see it. It spawned inside the map.
You'll find it.
No, I will die first. That's the problem. What am I supposed to do when I have a sentinel on me whilst they're endlessly spawning gargoyles, which will kill me in 2 hits if I'm not perfect with it? I never got good at the super quick kills that people who are really good at the game pull off, and I can appreciate having an incredibly high skill ceiling. But this also shows me it's like, look, I shouldn't be playing this game on the hardest difficulty, but even on ultraviolence, which I normally do, I enjoyed the majority of the game up until the last like 2 levels, at which point I was just like, I just want this to be over.
Gotcha.
And that feeling from the final 2 levels in particular, ultimately I can't put it on my list. 2016 is much more definitive of, it taught me that I can like shooters. I love basically every level in that game. I love most of the weapons in that game. I've played through it like every year, just about. And well, I haven't done an Ultra Nightmare, you know, deathless run, and I
Oh,
probably never
geez.
will.
Yeah, no, because you love yourself.
Yeah, but I've still played through it on Nightmare difficulty several times, and I just love that game so much. I love it to death. So yeah, it was 2016.
No, I'm a big fan of Eternal myself, but it's one of those things where it's like it's, you know, it's got to be whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, but yeah, so as a fan, you can see it's like some elements of it at least are an acquired taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, or not acquired, but like if it's your thing, it's really your thing.
Yeah.
But if it's not your thing, you can see why it wouldn't.
Well,
be.
it's our whole discussion a couple weeks ago about XCOM and tactical shooters to begin with. Is there's just a certain level of either it clicks with you or it does not, and there's no in between. Okay, all right. Now I'm definitely out of.
Well, unless XCOM's on the list, how about XCOM 2: The War of the Chosen?
I will say XCOM is like my number 17 or number 18 up there with
just
Final
missed.
Fantasy 14.
Okay.
It
Well,
just didn't
because I
quite
put that on the thumbnail. Anyway,
Look, I said I wasn't going to give too many hints. I was going to allow you to say whatever games you associate with me,
That was the
feel free to put
struggle.
on the thumbnail. But it really was a struggle because I love those games, but I don't feel that I am... I feel like it
Defined.
more reinforced what I already like than really opened me up to being like, hey, I really like this.
interesting.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Interesting. All right.
But yeah, it was a very close, like 17 or 18, like top of the honorable mentions list.
Okay. Well, anyone else got a random guess?
I'm out.
I think I'm out.
All
Guess I
right,
can't do any more things.
fair enough. So first hint is that for basically my entire life, I've had PC and Nintendo consoles or handhelds are what I've
Okay.
had. So I don't know how much that limits things or narrows things, but there's no Xbox, there's no like PlayStation or anything like that.
Okay. I don't associate you with like Legend of Zelda, but if we're gonna go Nintendo, how about Ocarina of Time?
No, he's too young for that. I'm gonna guess Twilight Princess.
There is
Wind
a Legend
Waker.
of Zelda game, but
Wind
it's none of
Waker.
those. Wind Waker, it almost was, but not.
Oh,
Okay,
Wind Waker
um,
does have charm.
I'm going to put in
This
a.
also lends
a
into
wild
another
guess.
hint. I never owned or played a Nintendo 64.
I'm going to put in a
Oh,
wild
okay.
guess for that. I will say Minish Cap.
I've never played the Minish Cap.
Okay.
What about Oracle of Ages?
I love Oracle of Ages, but it's not on my list.
Okay.
Okay. How about Twilight Princess?
No, like I said, it wasn't Ocarina, Twilight Princess, or Wind Waker.
Okay.
Breath of
Gotta
the
think
Wild?
older.
Is it older? Because I want to say Link to the Past, but then Splice was like, "Oh, he's too young."
Yeah.
You gotta think older than that.
Okay,
Wait,
I'm gonna go
original?
with Link to the Past.
It's not Link to the Past. Who said original?
I did. I just threw it out
Splice.
there. Like, really?
Yes, the first Legend of Zelda. So this comes with
I'm
a story.
so proud of you.
But yes,
Okay.
number one,
Color me very intrigued.
1986. Okay, so this comes with a set of stories. The first thing is that this was almost Zelda 2, but I decided that would have been too weird, too much of a deep cut.
No,
Yeah.
I
so-
was going to guess that actually before.
Like, it was a very close, like, coin flip. You could basically coin flip between Zelda 1 and Zelda 2. And I went back and forth on which one was on the list regularly, because Zelda 2 is that hard game from my childhood that I never beat, but then coming back as an adult, I now play it as a comfort game.
Okay.
Legend of Zelda NES is a game that is burned into my memory, and I wish I could forget what I know about it so I could experience it again. So, growing up, I was babysat by a family who owned a retro game store. They were close family friends of my parents,
Wow.
something like
That's
that.
cool.
So apparently
And-
they were just the coolest family.
They were, and they let me play on the NES there, and I played Legend of Zelda, and I remember, this is one of the earliest memories of my childhood. I don't even remember any specifics other than desperately trying to get enough heart containers to get the white sword.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, the year the GameCube came out, that Christmas, my grandparents got my family a GameCube, and Star Fox Adventures as like the game that came with it. So that's the thing. But this family gave us an NES and a pack of like 6 different NES games.
Dang.
And so I grew up playing my Game Boy Color.
I'm sorry, this was
The
your
NES.
number 1, right?
Yeah, this was number 1 in terms of because these are all age.
Yeah.
It has
Yeah,
to be the
1986.
oldest.
By far the oldest game on this list.
It was 86, right?
86, yeah.
Okay.
So I grew up playing Game Boy Color, Nintendo Entertainment System, and GameCube, and PC. So
That is an odd collection of systems there.
it was. And so it gave me... And here's the thing. It meant that I had a weird gap of, like, I never had a Super Nintendo and I never had an N64. So all the kids, like, my age and older who loved the N64, I couldn't, you know... It's like, I can't talk N64 with you. I've never played it. But then I could talk to, like, almost like their parents. Not that I talk to a lot of kids' parents or anything. But it's like people who were even older who remembered the NES games, the NES classics. I could talk about those with. And so we had Zelda, Zelda 2, Mario 3, like Super Mario 3, Galaga, and then I think it was Wizards and Warriors and Iron Sword.
Oh, I'm so proud of you!
Brutally difficult games that I never got anywhere in, but I owned and played those games. They're in a box somewhere, probably in the basement of my parents' house at this point.
Oh man!
You just made me so incredibly happy.
I woke up some people's memories, it sounds like, by mentioning Wizards and Warriors Iron Swords.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
I
think
only
I
know
have
that
Iron
game
Sword.
due to OC Remix.
It is a brutal.
Well, it's an early Rare game, man. Like,
Yeah, it's a absolutely brutal.
it's before
Would you
anyone
say,
knew
like-
what Rare was as a company.
Would you say it was like like an action platformer, action combat
was an
platformer
action-
RPG?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't call it.
Very debatably RPG.
Well, I mean,
it is like
I
very
see
light
it as an
RPG
action
elements.
platformer.
the second one had some Metroidvania aspects to it, even.
Mhm.
It had the jankiest hitbox on your attacks on the sword.
Yes, it did.
I don't remember
gosh.
much about the game, but I just remember some of the sprites. I don't even clearly remember the music, but if you played some for me, I probably would recall it.
Oh,
And I remember going through a forest, jumping up trees, and getting very frustrated at
Yep.
either, like, was it insects or birds or something that would, like, knock you back down?
Oh yeah.
I don't remember. Like I said, I did not get very far in that game at all, but it was one of, like, the 6 NES games we had. Oh,
But-
Gauntlet. That was another NES game we
Oh,
had. And Double Dragon. Okay, it was 8 games. So it was Wizards and Warriors, Iron Sword, Mario 3, Galaga, Zelda, Zelda 2, Gauntlet, and Double Dragon.
Okay, so
Oh, man.
outside of Zelda, are any of those on the list?
None of those are on the list.
Okay.
Zelda is the only
Okay.
one that I put on the
Okay,
list from
good
my
to know.
NES time.
Good to know.
There is also one game on this list that I will be surprised if any of you have ever heard of before. So I don't feel bad if you can't get all of them. I almost guarantee there is one game you will not, and that game has some stories attached with it.
Okay, now you did say PC, and this is. So I knew it wouldn't be Ocarina of Time, just because the reason I said you're too young for it, because Ocarina of Time, people who say it's their favorite, they had to have grown up with it. Because people older than us look back at the graphics and go, ugh. And
I played Ocarina of Time on the 3DS port just
Okay.
a couple years ago. So I played through it, like a version of it. And it's not a bad game. I still think it's fine. It still holds up in a lot of ways, but there are also a lot of ways in which it doesn't hold up, and it's
Yeah.
if you don't have any nostalgia for it, it is not necessarily going to be a game that captures you.
Well, I mean, especially considering, I mean, Splice has a point. It's nostalgia goggles are pretty strong on that game because even though when I played through it, I liked it, but when I saw the way people talked about it, I thought it was an overhyped game. Even though, like, as great as it is, the way people talk about it, I feel like the reality doesn't live up to that. But
Which game?
Ocarina of Time.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
okay, so but you are a PC player, and I have seen you played a certain game from time to time on Steam. So I'm just gonna throw this out there. Is Tabletop Simulator on the list?
No, I didn't consider Tabletop
That's a
Simulator
cheat. That's
for
a
game
cheat.
here.
That's not a
It is
game.
a cheat. It
That's-
could have been a
that's-
cheat that I agreed with, but
I'm
you know,
just
good
asking.
call. I'm throwing it out there, but no.
Yeah.
I
No,
just wanted to take
that's
the
not
shot.
a game itself. That's a
Is
That's
a
a-
container
and
for
a
other
Console.
games.
It's like a
it's an
console almost.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a virtual console. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just figured I had to at least ask.
Yeah. No worries. Okay. Going up with general hints, I will say, now this is not all games that are on the list, but in general, my most played game genres are strategy games and RPGs.
Age of Empires 2.
There is a game from the Age of series. It is not AoE
Oh,
2.
because we talked
Is
about
it-
it before.
Really?
Okay. On that, is it Age of Mythology?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Age of Empires 2, I had as a kid, and I played it along with Age 1. We got like a combo pack.
Okay.
But I was just never good enough at it as a kid. I was never able to beat it.
Mhm.
Nowadays, I'm going back and I'm playing through all the DLC campaigns and everything, and I'm having a blast with it. But it did not make it on the list. Age of Mythology made it on the list because this game
What year?
in it, 2002. So this is
7 or 8.
number 8.
Okay.
I guessed Age of Mythology because you referred to it as the Age of series, not the Age of Empires series.
Yeah, I was wondering if
good
anyone would
clue.
catch that.
Nice catch. Nice catch.
But yeah, Age of Mythologies, it is the game that got me interested in history and mythology, like as a whole. It was
Really?
that and a combination pack of city builder games that my dad got, which had Caesar 3, Pharaoh, Zeus, and Poseidon. And so Zeus and Poseidon and then Age of Mythology really got me interested in mythology and learning more before I had read any of before the Rick Riordan series was even a thing and coming out. I was playing Age of Mythology and I was hooked on it. It's one of the few games I remember getting through at least most of the campaign as a kid. It's one of the few strategy games I could do that without cheat codes, although I did look up all the cheat codes because they're frankly hilarious for that game. They give you 101 monkeys, or they give you a flying purple hippo that breathes rainbows. It comes
Normal
from a
stuff
day
like
where
that.
cheat codes. It comes from a day where cheat codes were wild.
Cheat codes
And-
used to be more fun.
They used to be a lot more fun. But yeah, I loved Age of Mythology. I played the heck out of it. My brother and I would play matches against each other as well. I don't have a ton else to say about it other than, yeah, it got me hooked in mythology, and that is something that I've always loved, just learning more about history, ancient history in particular, and mythology. I've just always loved learning more about various mythologies, not just Greek, but just kind of all of it. Find it fascinating, and yeah,
Mhm.
it made the list.
Okay.
So yeah, we have a
Alright.
gap between 2002 and 2007 that has now been closed
Okay.
off.
Interesting.
Quick fun fact. I actually babysat the son of one of the lead developers of Age of Empires 2.
Really?
No
yes.
way.
Yep, and he was really difficult.
Did he pay well?
Yeah, they paid well. It's one of those. I look back, I'm like, oh, he was autistic. That's what that was.
Ah.
And
Well,
I didn't.
that'll do it.
Yeah, well,
That's-
it's one of
that's-
those. As a teenager, and especially back then, you don't really know what that is.
Right.
But on the
Yeah,
plus side,
yeah.
when he got in the mood,
Especially
he
back
would just
then.
calm down whenever I'd start just playing I don't know, Glover on his N64. That's how I learned that game
Yep.
wasn't good.
Oh, Glover! Wow,
I will say that is definitely not on my list.
it's not on many
Um,
people's list, I would imagine.
Okay.
All right,
But yeah.
sorry.
Age of Mythology on the list.
Fun aside.
Interesting.
Okay, that
Okay,
means we have
okay,
something
so-
probably in 2001. You know what? Actually, is StarCraft Brood War on this?
Brood War did not make it only because of my limit one game per series. And while I love
Oh.
Brood War more now, it is not the game that I have on this list
You-
that
you
I
just
think
went
is more
StarCraft
Base
definition for me.
StarCraft?
No, it's
Two?
StarCraft 2, specifically Wings of Liberty.
Wings of Liberty. Yeah.
Okay.
I lost
What year?
my sophomore year to that game, 2010.
Okay.
I lost my
What number's
my
that?
sophomore high school year to that game. That is 11.
All right.
Goodness, I remember going to pick that up at a midnight release. And you know who got in line behind me, Baggins?
Who?
Dylan.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. If
I didn't
remember
know that.
correctly. Yeah.
See,
So-
my biggest memory of that game is right at the end when Petrivka popped into my room when I was watching the final cutscene, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" Ah, and he just like saw a
That's
huge spoiler.
Oh man.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
I was late to that one, and so yes, I got spoiled.
Isn't it about
Mm.
time?
Isn't it about
Yeah.
time?
Speaking of that spoiler, I wish Wings of Liberty was the last in the 2 series.
So Wings of-
I hate the order of the games. I hate it.
I was going to say that there's a lot of mixed feelings come into play when I think about StarCraft 2, especially where it went and where it ended up. But Wings of Liberty was a game arguably more than any other game on this list that really shaped me and the way I interact with the online space.
Okay.
StarCraft
sense.
2, first of all, it was the only game I really got into the competitive side of. I grinded so hard. I was a Zerg player in early StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty, and I got to Diamond League in 1v1s in like season 1 or 2. That was like below Master and Grandmaster, so obviously not super impressive, but at the time I felt like I was by far the best person in my like local friend group
In your
who played it.
circle,
And
yeah.
we would have like some LAN parties and play games and whatnot a fair bit, but yeah. But through StarCraft 2 and through forum posts and through looking up how to get better at the game, I found through forum posts talking about its story, I was linked to extra credits of all things back before they were whatever they are now, back when they actually were just talking about video games and
Those were good
like,
days.
stuff like that, back when they were on The Escapist, I think. So
Yeah.
long time ago. Haven't kept up with whatever they're doing in the last decade.
Me neither. For the same
and-
reason, probably.
So it was that which then opened me up to just like game design YouTube and gaming YouTube of like people talking about games and not just playing games, but also got me, I was looking at how to get better. I found Day 9.
Yes, there it is.
Nice.
Through him, I found Total Biscuit. Through him, I found
Rest in peace,
co-optional. Rest in peace, Total Biscuit. Through him, I found co-optional. Through which I found several of the creators that I still follow to this day. It's crazy to think how much I then transformed into getting into YouTube, watching a lot of YouTube, getting connected to YouTube. I might not even have a YouTube channel if not for the people I started watching back in 2010, 2011. And I probably wouldn't have started watching them had it not been for playing a heckin' ton of StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty.
Yep.
So that's why Wings of Liberty had to be on this list over Brood War, even though looking back, I play Brood War and replay it so much more.
I mean,
Makes sense.
same story for me with Day 9, so I get it.
But I will still say the Wings of Liberty campaign, specifically Wings of Liberty, might be the best RTS campaign ever made.
It was a
Phenomenal.
fantastic campaign. I mean,
There are
I do
arguments
like
to be made about it, but
well, the thing is like I prefer like my favorite race in there is the Protoss, right?
Mhm.
And I did like the campaign of oh goodness, what was the name for
Legacy
the
of the
Protoss?
Void.
Yeah, Legacy of the Void. But the thing is Wings of Liberty had the Zeratul quests, and that scratched the itch along with
You
the
got
great
the mini
story.
campaign there, yeah.
Yeah, so it had the mini campaign and the great Terran campaign.
Mhm.
And I think, yeah, I agree. I think it's the best of the campaigns, and that's why I feel like it should have been the last, or at least it should not have been the first.
Yeah.
They didn't know
So
they
yeah.
were gonna.
Story-wise.
They didn't know it was going to be the best one when they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had so many grand plans and ambitions if you listen back to what they were planning on doing, and of course executed on none of that. But, here we are in 2025 where hindsight is better than 2020, because that year sucked for everyone. But yeah, I
Really
mean, heck,
understood that
I
reference.
still watch competitive Brood War to this day, but I never would have gotten into competitive Brood War had it not been for StarCraft 2.
All
Makes
right.
sense.
Yeah.
Now, there's something I'm going through this list because that was good. I don't think we have found what game you lost a college year to. I feel like everyone has one of those.
I thought he just said that he lost a year
I thought
to.
that was just
Yeah,
high school.
Wings of Liberty. No, that was sophomore.
Oh, that was
Said
okay.
Wings of Liberty, yeah.
Okay,
But that was high school. That was
Yeah.
10th
that was
grade.
high school.
It came out
Oh.
like the summer before my 10th grade year of high school.
I forget how much younger you
And
are. Sorry.
like I still was. Yeah, I'm 30. Congratulations. I'm sorry for making you all feel old.
Yeah, I was out of
Oh
college.
gosh. Okay.
But yeah, so I don't think there is necessarily one game that I lost my college freshman year to. It was just a combination of things. But also, you have to keep in mind, though, my freshman year in college, my laptop was dying and could not hold a stable enough internet connection for me to maintain in an online game.
Okay.
Like, the reason why I stopped playing StarCraft 2 competitively was because my laptop kept dropping internet mid-game. And so I couldn't finish matches. And it was so infuriating that I stopped playing StarCraft, I stopped playing League of Legends, not that I was super into League. And I never really played online multiplayer regularly since.
Okay.
Okay, I'm trying to think. He says
That gives a hint that the rest of these games are, not
Single
all of them,
player.
but most of them at least,
Yeah.
would be
well I'm
single
just
player, or at
thinking,
least not like match-based.
you said RPGs, but you've also said no Super Nintendo and no PlayStations. That actually cuts out a huge swath of the
Yeah,
RPG library.
Yeah.
I never played, Final Fantasy VI, Chrono Trigger, whatever, until later in life. I had to come back to them after coming to college and hearing about how good they were.
Yeah.
And so they
Right.
didn't end up on my list just because I never, they weren't formative for me.
Yeah. It's just
Not
interesting.
that everything on my list is formative, but
Do you have a Dark Souls on this list?
yes, I do.
Ooh, there's a
Okay.
Souls-like. Okay.
Is it?
How about, I'm going to guess 2.
No,
3,
Okay.
no,
1.
yes.
Okay.
I am the person in the room that likes Dark Souls 1 over Dark Souls 3 or Elden Ring.
Wait, that's what... You know what? I realized I should have guessed 1 because you and I used to make the Dark Souls Juan joke all the time. That was a long time ago.
What number is Dark
I think that was
Souls?
someone else. Dark Souls would be 11th.
I thought that was
Wait,
StarCraft.
no, 12.
Okay.
I'm bad at counting backwards.
Supposed to, yeah, it was like
Number-
2011, I think.
It's the one, 2011. It is the one directly above StarCraft 2.
Okay.
So I like Dark Souls 1. I feel like the scale of the game is just better. I think 3 is too much. Like it started to get where there was just too many bosses and too fast and too much stuff in 3. And Elden Ring is like, there's just way too much game in that game to be approachable. 2, there's a lot of stuff that there's some stuff that was fun, but I think there's a lot of like fundamental issues with how they designed certain things. But Dark Souls 1, first of all, it was influential in the entire gaming space.
Yes,
But
it
second of
was.
all, specifically to me, I really appreciated what it is and its fair balance of, yeah, this game will kick your teeth in, but you can still go through it. You can still beat it. And it's a game, in my mind, it is the foremost of games that you have to be open to learning how the game wants to be played. You can't necessarily go in with your preconceived notions of how to play a game. And Dark Souls 2, I will say, like Zelda 2, was a hard game that eventually just became a comfort game that I play through every once in a while, just not necessarily always to relax, but I do replay it every now and then. Just, I don't know. It just hits that right element of me, of the part of me that craves difficulty and challenge, but the part of me that also craves that feeling of mastery and that feeling of having mastered and having understood and really solved a game, while at the same time being able to still have challenge from a solved game. I don't know how else to put it.
No, I think that's put rather well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Is there, because I'm playing Bellatra right now, is there a collectible card game on this?
Other than Pokemon.
Besides Pokemon?
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, besides Pokemon, like a more modern
Technically, yes. And I'm going to say technically.
Is it Hearthstone?
Because if you know is the only thing I can say about this game. It is not Hearthstone.
There are cards in it.
Mega Man, was it Battle Network?
No, it's not a Battle Network.
Wait.
Was this a mini game within the game that has the cards? Is that what?
Well,
If
Triad.
it's triple triad, I was going to say if it's triple triad.
No,
Triple Triad.
It's not Final Fantasy. It's not Triple Triad. It's
Okay.
not Mega Man. It's technically it's not a mini game. Technically, it is the game. But
Technically, it's the game.
look, this is a game
isn't
that's like
Neon White, is it?
no,
Okay.
no.
Like,
It is a card game. I say technically on like the whole
Is it-
collectible part.
Is it Kingdom Hearts?
No,
The Chain of Memories?
no, I've never played a Kingdom Hearts game.
Okay.
yeah, I'm at a loss.
Okay.
I am too.
It is the newest game on this list. It is a roguelike.
is it Slay the Spire?
Slay the Spire is on my honorable mentions.
Is it
could
Balatro?
take this place.
Deepest
It's not
Dark
Balatro.
Dungeon?
It's not Darkest Dungeon. It's not Balatro. It's not Slay the Spire, though Slay the Spire was also close because it's probably my most played roguelike.
Well, I mean, we just named all the ones I know, I think.
It came out, like I said, it's the newest game on this list. Came out same year as Rise 2021. It's kind of creepy, horror themed.
Oh, Inscription!
Yes.
It's spelled weird, isn't it?
INSCRYPTION. How many of you are familiar with what Inscription is?
I only know
me.
the vaguest stuff because I have tried to avoid spoilers because I think it is something I might eventually play, but it is a horror collectible card game where the card game is the excuse for the horror game that's actually happening.
Yes. So it is a horror card,
What
like
year's that?
deck builder roguelike 2021. It is a
Good year, apparently.
allegedly horror themed collectible, like deck builder / collectible cards roguelike. And I asked if anyone knew about that game because it is a game that I will say I had a kind of transformative, not exactly transformative, but like it is a game that I was like, it is the number one game of like, I am so glad that I played through this without being spoiled on it. And much as I really want to talk about it, I have no one to talk about it with because no one else has played the dang game. And it frustrates me so much because I want people to play it and experience it for themselves and have this experience something like I had because of the way that, I will just put it this way, the way that the game changes over time as you think you've solved it and then suddenly it is something else now. And then you think you've solved that, and then it's something else now. And
yeah, I don't know the
I can't
specifics
say
at all. I just know that
anything
it messes with your
else.
expectations.
I can't say anything else without getting into spoilers, so if this has sold you at all on playing Inscription, I put Inscription over XCOM, I put it over Final Fantasy XIV, I put it over Slay the Spire.
Okay.
Play dang Inscription if the collectible card roguelike or collectible card RPG type genre like is at all interesting to you. Or if the horror / ARG is at all interesting to you. That was like kind of interesting to me, but I didn't really like follow through on those threads per se. I got into it because I thought that the card game was fun, and it is basically the most boiled down simple card game that still has a very surprising amount of depth to it with the way that the combat works in it and the way that everything kind of lays over itself. It's the stuff that they do around that and around with how you play the game and in what form the games are taking that you're participating in the card game. And I can't say anything else, otherwise it starts getting into spoiler territory, and I hate that I can't talk about it. Because I would love to just have a spoiler cast and talk about it, but I know at least one person in this call wants to play the game. So
yeah,
I apologize if this has already been too much for you.
Well, I mean, there is something to say that there are some games that if you miss that experience, then it kind of ruins the whole thing. So yeah.
And I'm not even gonna say that it would ruin the entire experience, but I think that magical moment of like, oh really, this is what they're doing? That excitement that I felt, this game would not be on my top 16 had I had that spoiled for me, I guess, is what I will say.
gotcha.
Not that it would have been a bad game at all, but I think that that was what pushed it over the edge for me.
Okay. Well,
so we have all the new games
off
the list now.
No, this is where it gets interesting.
I'm going to take a stab at a franchise. Are there any Heroes of Might and Magic on here?
No. I only barely started playing that series like this last year. And while I think they're fun, I still have yet to play 3. I got it, it was on sale, but I've been in the middle of other games.
Alright, it seemed to kind of scratch sort of your general itch, but if you haven't played
it... It really does. And I think had I played it earlier or grew up with it, it definitely would be. But unfortunately, because of the way that I'm making this list, it just kind of doesn't fit into it. But would be an honorable mention, I guess I would say.
Are any of the Mass Effect games on your list?
No, I've never played Mass Effect.
Okay. I'm thinking that his... Well, I'm just looking. His biggest gap is in the 90s.
Yeah, well, so that's... I tried to fill in the parts where
between 1986 and 2000 is pretty...
Well, the thing is no Super Nintendo, no more NES, no Super Nintendo, no
you got to think of the PC game.
No PlayStation. Yeah, they're going to be PC games.
Think PC?
That could be weird. There was some weird PC stuff in that era.
What was PC doing in the 90s
Myst.
Is your question you have to ask.
Is Myst
Myst, I did not grow up with Myst. There is one game that I feel is somewhat reminiscent of Myst in ways, but it's not Myst or a Myst in the series
game.
Of it.
Ooh,
okay.
What about a BioWare D&D game? Do you have one of those? The Infinity Engine.
I don't.
No Neverwinter.
No Neverwinter, no Baldur's Gate.
No Baldur's.
Heroes of Might and Magic 3.
No Planescape, no Dragon Age.
Heroes of Might and Magic 3.
He already said he hasn't played that yet.
Sorry, Baggins. I literally asked that.
Sorry, I think you must have been away from keyboard.
I had to step away. I just got back.
But you were on the same track as I was.
Though. I mean, that's the era, though. That.
What about Civilization 2?
Yeah,
there are no Civilization games on this list. I feel like that was a good pick.
Civ would have been a pick here. Yeah. Oh.
What about? Do you have like a SimCity?
Or
no SimCity.
Any sim game.
Sim anything, yes.
No sim games at this point that I would call sim games. No.
What about Warcraft 2?
No Warcraft. There is another Blizzard game on this, but it's not Warcraft 2.
Lost Vikings?
No, it's
that's-
clearly the Death and Return of Superman.
That's true.
clearly, clearly no.
Is it
Well,
Blackthorn? Did you play
Half-Life?
Blackthorn?
Oh goodness,
It's
Blackthorn.
Blackthorn, no.
I love
No,
that game.
Okay, wait.
Half-Life
Jake,
I also
game.
didn't play until a couple years
you give me
ago.
Blizzard. So,
It's not Warcraft. It's not StarCraft.
Okay.
Is it one of the Diablos?
Yes, there is a
Yeah,
Diablo
that's
game.
the only one
this.
left. Yeah.
Diablo 2 then, I'm
D2 is
assuming?
probably.
Would it be 2?
It is not 2.
Oh,
One.
you went
One.
for 3?
It is Diablo 1, 1996. This is game
Okay.
number 3.
Okay.
Original Diablo.
So-
Wow.
There is something about Diablo 1 that even more than 2 just calls to me. I don't know if it's just nostalgia. I don't know if it's the slower pace of it. I don't know if that it's basically just a roguelike in disguise.
That's true.
I love Diablo. I love just doing runs in that game in Diablo 1. For a while I had it as like every Halloween I would do a Diablo 1 run of a various character. And I don't know, I love that game. And while 2 is a lot of fun, and I've played a lot of 2 as well, there's just something about the simple nature of 1, because I've never been into like the end game loot grind of ARPGs. It is always something that's like, no, the Diablo 1 for some reason of just like everyone's going to be different, even though you kind of know what you're going to be doing through it. That captures me. And there's also a little bit of a story as well that I guess I can say is that I have a memory of the very first time I beat Diablo 1. Of in the middle of the night, I played it and I killed Diablo, and I have a memory of me just losing control and going into my parents' room shouting, "I killed him! I killed him! I killed him!" And my mom being like, "What are you talking about? Should I be worried?" And my dad being like, "What game are you playing?"
It's the I beat the damn level.
Basically, but yeah, but that was for Diablo 1. And so, moments of cringe that we have when we are like, how old was I at that point? I was
That's not cringe. That's just adorable.
This was
Yeah,
years after it
Especially if
came
you
out.
killed
Obviously,
Diablo,
I wasn't allowed to play this game until I was like 13. So I would have been at least like 13, I guess, but probably like 12 or 13, I think. Yeah. So yeah, Diablo 1 made the list.
Okay, I've got another
Interesting.
guess.
Sure, go for it.
Command and Conquer.
No, Command and Conquer did not make. There are other RTS games on the list, but Command and Conquer is not. Because the only Command and Conquer that I played up until recently, when I started playing like the remastered pack,
Yes.
were from the old PC Gamer demo discs.
Oh yes.
Yes.
My dad had a massive stack of the PC Gamer demo discs, and we had a hand-me-down, like his old computer that was running Windows 98, and we couldn't run a lot of stuff. It had like 1 gig free on the hard drive, maybe. I remember having to uninstall every single game off that computer in order to install, I think it was like a Star Trek Armada or something, because that was like the first game that we had that took like a gig install size. It was the size of the entire drive. But my only playthroughs of a lot of games, Mech Warrior and Command and Conquer and stuff like that, were from the PC Gamer demo discs.
Okay.
And there are so many games that I played and enjoyed and then completely forgot the name of and would love to look them back up, but I just don't even know what they're called anymore, and those discs are long lost to time.
For what it's worth, Blackthorn was one of them, but that was one of the older editions.
Fair enough. But yeah, this also, those discs are what introduced me to a lot of games, some of which may be on this list.
So you said
Okay.
there's another RTS on here, but we've already said StarCraft. You said no to Warcraft. We've already gotten the Age series.
This is going to be like a
Well,
smaller
that's
one.
Command and Conquer.
Well, that's
It's a
why
little
I'm
bit
curious.
deeper cut.
I'm
Is it-
curious though. Is
oh,
it the
oh.
granddaddy in Dune 2?
No, it's newer
I-
than Dune 2.
Is it a more obscure one?
I would say it's more obscure, definitely.
Is it a historical
okay,
one?
I
How
have
about
I have
historical?
2 guesses, one or the other.
It is science
it's-
fiction, not historical.
Okay, then never mind. The one I was gonna guess either Tactics Ogre or Ogre Battle.
Is it what was that game? It was popular in Quark for a while. Dane would play it.
Wait.
Oh,
I
Sins of
know-
a Solar Empire.
Since the Solar Empire?
Wasn't Sins of Solar Empire.
No, I know what it is. I bet I know what it is. It's Homeworld, right?
Was not Homeworld, though that was also a game on those demo discs.
Oh man.
Yeah, this is a little bit more of a deep cut of
Yeah, nothing's coming
when
up
we got this game fully and not just the demo. It was a disc paired up with, of all things, Tomb Raider 2.
What?
And I have no idea how
Okay.
those two games were linked, because I think that all of the publishers and everything were different, but somehow they ended up in the same box set.
Okay, Breakfast is guessing Total Annihilation.
Breakfast in chat has it right. It is Total
Oh, man,
Annihilation.
I forgot that even
I-
exists.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I know what it is.
So, are you familiar with or have you heard of Supreme Commander?
Yes,
I've
I have
heard
heard
of
This
that one.
Supreme Commander is the spiritual successor to the Total Annihilation games.
Okay, what year and number?
1997, number 4, so right above
Okay.
Diablo. Total Annihilation is an RTS game where you control a faction of either the ARM or the core, where you're basically just making,
Also, Breakfast,
endless
you can
numbers.
just join us.
yeah, more the merrier. You're basically making endless numbers of robots in order to throw at the enemy. The things that I love about Total Annihilation are its resource system and its physics engine. Because, 1997, what are you doing with a physics engine in a top-down
that was-
3D RTS?
I was going to
But
say, like, what kind of
it
physics?
has terrain, it has trees, it has the wreckage that your units leave become blockers. So if you have a projectile weapon like a laser gun or like a plasma cannon, it will it has to arc or it has to travel in a line and it will hit things. You have like long range plasma cannons that you build as buildings on the map that can fire super long distances but are super inaccurate. You have nuclear missiles that you can launch, because of course you do at that point at the top of the tech tree. And one of the most interesting systems is that it was a 2 resource system, energy and metal. You could build a lot of buildings that produced energy, but metal you were much more limited on. But any unit that died would, unless they were completely destroyed by either a nuke or like the commander's disintegration gun, would leave behind a robotic, not exactly a corpse, but basically, it's, dead robotic shell or wreckage or scrap that you could then
Scavenge it?
reclaim
Yeah.
for metal. And so
salvage
you
it.
could reclaim and salvage your own stuff, or you could also salvage your enemy's stuff. And so you were encouraged then by that resource system to play very aggressively, pushing forward, and then reclaiming all the stuff that either you lost or that you killed of the enemies
This sounds
in order to fuel
complicated.
your war. It can
Wow.
become... It has a lot of depth to it for
Well,
ultimately what is very simple, a 2 resource system of energy go up, go down, metal go up, go down. And it was all based on drain rate. Like, you didn't hey, pay 50 minerals for a marine. It would be like, hey, I'm starting production on a marine. As you build it, you are paying the minerals to build it. And if you run out, then it just stops production while your resource generation goes up until your resource hit positive again, and then you do a little bit, and then you stop, and then it goes positive again, and then you build it, and a little bit, and it stops, and you have this sort of thing.
This push and pull. Oh, okay.
But you can also have your construction units help build not just other structures, but also units. Like, you'll build a unit from the factory, and then it'll appear on the map as a what's the thing when it's just a line outline that's getting filled in? I forget what the terminology is of
A ghost?
like a vector outline of something of just the frame. A unit frame.
A
or
wireframe.
Yeah. So it's just the wireframe that then gets filled in with color and then gets filled in with the details. And so that's just building on the surface inside the factory. But then you can have your construction robots and construction units flanking the factory and helping to build those units. So if it's hey, I really want to power out this next tier of construction unit or whatever, you can have your previous tier of construction units also build it while the factory's building it. And that'll increase the drain rate on your resources, but it will get the thing done a lot faster. it's a surprising amount of complexity that they fit into a very simple, well, seemingly simple game.
Breakfast
And I don't
wants
know,
you to
I just
tell us
love
about the
it.
nuclear commander.
Nuclear command. Oh yeah. So what would happen is you started every game with a commander. They have that's where your most of your energy and metal storage comes from. That's where they're the fastest building unit. They can fight a bit with a decent laser cannon, and they have a D gun, which you use it instantly consumes like 500 points of energy, and it erases whatever it hits in a short range. It's fantastic defense. But how they balanced it so you couldn't take your commander on offense was if your commander dies, they deal a nuclear missile-sized explosion and destroy everything around it. So, oftentimes what would happen, especially if you're playing against the AI and the AI was being a jerk and moved their commander to you, is that your commander shoots at the other commander and it blows it up, and then the nuclear explosion blows up your commander as well, and your entire base or whoever's base you're in. And so what you could do is basically also sacrifice strategies like, hey, I don't need my commander anymore. I'm gonna send them out on a transport ship into the enemy base, and then get the transport ship shot down in the middle of the enemy base, so the commander then blows up in a nuclear explosion.
I
You
guess
just
it's
basically
easy to win when you
free
fight
bomb.
like Al Qaeda. Okay.
I mean, look, high risk, high reward, because without a commander, you have lost your best construction unit and your best combat unit, effectively.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, the name of the game is Total Annihilation.
Yeah,
so
no.
that kinda
Now that you
fits.
point that out, I do have to bow
Yeah.
down to that logic.
The game also, and another reason why it's on the list, aside from just being fun and having that crazy resource system and the physics, is that it also introduced me to a lot of sci-fi concepts of transhumanism, of intergalactic space travel and resource starvation and that sort of sense. Plus the music is made by someone that a lot of people might know, Jeremy Soule.
Oh wow!
I don't know before or between Elder Scrolls games, but he was doing the music for this, and it is there's 12 different full orchestral tracks. They're great. And it also was one of the games that as I was listening to, I would listen to this soundtrack of video game music in junior high school, and I would just be like, people just don't understand that video game music can be so much more, because I was that kid. Because of course I was that kid.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we're starting to fill this in.
I have a guess for number 10.
Okay.
Which number was Total Annihilation again?
Total Annihilation was
four.
4.
Oh, did I
think
not
four.
hit
It's
save?
not on the list yet.
Sorry, I
So,
forgot to hit save.
first, I have a question. Is number
Sure.
10 incredibly popular?
10. I wouldn't say incredibly, but I would
Okay.
say that it has a decent popularity. I think
Then it's not
specifically is cult classic maybe status at this point.
okay. Then it's not what I was thinking, because I was thinking it might be. Well, yeah, because I was thinking it might be Minecraft, because I remember playing that.
No,
with
I
you.
never super got into Minecraft. I played it a little bit here and there, played it with some groups, but I was never a Minecraft person. I
Okay.
never
Question.
yeah.
You said that there's no Super Nintendo and no more Nintendo on this, right?
I didn't say no more Nintendo. I said there's no more Super Nintendo.
No more Super Nintendo.
I meant NES when I say Nintendo.
No more
sorry.
NES. Yeah.
No
Sorry,
more
I-
NES, no Super
sorry.
Nintendo, no 64.
I defaulted to how I
Yeah.
talked when I was a child. Anyway, is Metroid Prime on this?
There are no Metroid games on
No
this
Metroids.
list.
Because you're right.
Hmm.
GameCube is still in the run.
Yeah, GameCube.
Yeah.
And
I didn't grow up with Prime. I grew up with Prime 2, Echoes.
Okay.
Oh,
Interesting.
And-
Echoes.
If you played Echoes, you know why that game's not necessarily on my list.
I
Stupid
like Echoes.
Booster Guardian.
Even though I
Would
hate
s-
that boss so much, I love.
I would say that I 100%ed that game, but I 99.9%ed that game because I missed one scan on a minion of a boss that you couldn't go back to
Oh.
later.
Oh, jeez.
A minion
I've-
that looked exactly like a different enemy, but apparently I had not scanned it before.
I've got another guess for number 13.
Okay.
Is it Animal Crossing New Leaf?
There are no Animal Crossing games on this
Okay.
either. Like, casual
Oh.
games are fine, but I was never really a super casual games
And that's
person.
fine.
I played them, but they're not.
I
like,
just
huge
remember
on
that
the list.
one was particularly huge, especially
Someone's
within
given an O.
Quark.
I think I might know what number 10 is if it's a GameCube game. Is it Thousand Year Door?
It is not Thousand Year Door. I was about to say I've never played a Paper Mario game, but weirdly enough, of all games, the only
Super
Paper
Paper
Mario
Mario?
I've played was Super Paper Mario.
Oh, no.
Okay.
That was
Better than it gets credit for.
I had no. It was not a bad game.
So
I enjoy it.
definitely set me
recently,
up-
maybe that
but
was
it-
you last week, actually.
but it definitely set me up to be like, I didn't know what the Paper Mario series was based on my experience with Super Paper
Right.
Mario, thinking that they were more like that, and less like what I was more familiar with that, which was the Mario and Luigi games,
Right.
Okay.
which also are not on this list, I will say, but
Okay.
I played the heck out of at least the first 3 games, but then Bowser's Inside Story was the last one I played.
Okay. Though you did say that you have a spin-off and a main series on there.
So there's a Pokemon game in here.
which tells exactly that's what I was getting at. A Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. I was waiting for
Um,
someone to
Well, I said that when you said
throw that dart.
Oh, is
Okay.
Pokemon
okay,
TCG not considered mainline?
Okay.
No, that
If I okay, a Pokemon, I'm gonna go. I have a feeling it's gonna be one of the DS Pokemons.
Number 2's still on there.
I'm leaning
Well,
for black and
look
white.
who decided to show up.
I've been here.
He's in here.
Black and White, I think, might be one of my favorites of Pokemon, but it is not the one on this list.
Funny part was I was going to
close.
guess black and white, but I meant the RTS. We were guessing those.
Oh.
Never played that.
I would guess if I were to pick one for you, my guess would be Soul Silver.
Heart
yeah, I was
Gold
going to
and
guess Heart Gold,
Silver.
Soul Silver.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking next.
It is
Yeah.
not a DS Pokemon game.
Mm.
Okay. Is it a GBA?
It is not a Game Boy Advanced Pokemon game.
Is it the red and
Holy
blue?
cow.
The original?
It is an original
Okay.
Pokemon game.
Is it yellow then?
It is yellow.
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 Oh.
Pokemon Yellow.
Okay.
So technically this is
That'd
number
be
5
5,
because I wrote
yeah.
down the international release date, which is
Yes.
1999.
That's fair.
Pokemon Yellow was the first game that I could say I actually was mine. Was mine.
Mm.
Because
Okay.
my brother got a Game Boy Color and had Pokemon Yellow, and he would sometimes let me play it with the caveat that I was not allowed to save over his file. Because you
That's
could
Lizzie's
start a-
story as well, yeah.
because you could start a new game but couldn't save over a file. So I got really, I wouldn't necessarily say good, but I got a lot of experience
Nice.
getting to Brock and fighting Brock with a Pikachu.
Very nice.
So when I turned, I think it literally was I turned 5, and I got my own Game Boy and Pokemon Yellow. And I played, I don't know how many hours of that game. And I don't know if I ever actually beat the Elite Four without doing like a missing no glitch. I don't know if I ever actually did, at least as a kid. You know, later in life I obviously did, but that, first of all, it's on the list because it was the first game that I ever actually owned.
Okay.
Fair enough.
But second of all, going back to the original first generation of Pokemon games so many times later in life, as in college and then as an adult, has really taught me how much I appreciate and value good old classic RPG jank. Like, how the heck does this game actually function type jank? And so it's because, like, I hear so many people complain about these games, like, oh, they're unplayable today because they're so buggy and such a mess and whatever. And it's like,
Wrong.
Oh, yeah.
when you know what the bugs are the game. They become
Bugs are
the game.
flavor. Yes.
It's like, I have done several runs now of, like, at least 2 different runs of blue, maybe not yellow, I think it was just blue that I did it on. one on the Virtual Console release, and then one later emulated of Blue, where I got 100% Pokédex completion without trading with anyone.
You know,
By
I-
using Trainer Fly.
I have played many
It's not a bug,
remakes
it's a feature.
of games that I love,
Yes.
and
It
when
is
they
a bug, but
remove
it is also a
bugs
feature.
and glitches, I get upset.
well, yeah, like 4 and like Final Fantasy 4 if
And
they
the
take
duplication
away-
glitch.
Yeah, the dupe glitch. Same thing with
How
7,
many
the W
versions-
item.
How many versions of Final Fantasy 1 have I played? Yet I still love the old janky NES version with
Yep.
half the spells being non-functional. I don't know. I just do. Some part of my brain is just wired like that to be like, no, I like the fact that intelligence is a broken stat. I don't know why I like that it's broken. I should hate that it's broken. But for
Mhm.
some reason, my brain says, yes, Red Mage.
This
Let's
is the
do
game.
this. Peninsula of Power, Red Mage, Fire 2, let's go. Don't go to the swamp cave without it because before you do that, because you will die. Swamp
Alright.
cave is a nightmare zone.
Hey, question. Did you say, is there a Game Boy Advanced game on here?
Is there a Game Boy Advanced? There is not, actually. Do you
Well,
want
just
me
get-
to narrow down
Well,
what?
no. The reason I was guessing was just because we had discussions about Advanced Wars, and I see that hole in between 2000 and 2002, and I then remember that Advanced Wars is cursed, and it came out the week before September 11th and the week before Russia invaded Ukraine. And so it just made my brain like, wait a minute.
Are you telling us Advanced Wars is a harbinger of war?
Yes, it is, apparently.
It
Are
advances
you?
them.
Are you though putting an Advance Wars in your guess?
No, because you said it's not a Game Boy Advance. A Game Boy Advance game isn't in there. And it's
There were Advance
definitely-
Wars games that weren't on Game Boy Advanced.
Yeah, I'm not putting it in there.
Yeah, but they were called Famicom Wars.
And if you're choosing Famicom Wars or whatever Dual Strike in there, I'm just going to question your choices.
Well, wasn't there a DS one like Black Hole Rising?
Well, that's Advanced Wars 2, but he said there's no Game Boy Advance games.
Yeah, but isn't that DS?
No, Black Hole Rising was
Oh.
2, wasn't it?
There
Am I crazy?
Should I just stop you right now and say there is an Advanced Wars game on this
There
list?
is? I thought
It's-
I said Advanced Wars 2,
Yeah.
and
I feel like you kept saying, oh, but everyone kept talking.
I know. I'm just like,
It's
clearly
not
there's
Game
one,
Boy
but it's not a
Advance
GB
Advance Wars.
It's a
Well,
DS
It's not
one.
Advance Wars
That-
2.
That leaves
It's not
Dual
Dual
Strike,
Strike.
and Super Famicom
I thought
Wars.
those were the only 3.
There's
What
one more. It's not. It's
Unless you're saying the remake.
there's
Which is-
one more that
it's
everyone
outside the
forgot
range.
about. Is what I'm
yep,
gonna say.
clearly, okay.
Virtual Wars? No, just kidding.
No, it's on the DS. It's on the DS.
Yeah, the
Wait,
DS
no,
one.
it was called
Isn't that
something.
Black
It was
Hole
called
Rising?
no. It's called oh no, it's on
It
the
had-
tip of my tongue. It's
So-
a super edgelord name.
It had different
Days of Ruin.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, Days of Ruin. It had different
I forgot
names
about Days of
in
Ruin.
PAL
existing.
and in North America. So, Days of Ruin is what I put as my hard defend game. That
What do you
I
mean?
honestly still enjoy more than the rest of the series. And I've had arguments with people about Days of Ruin. I've had
Wait a minute,
arguments
I
with
didn't
people
have a
in
DS,
Quark
so I
about
never
Days of
played it.
Ruin. I had arguments with people in Quark about Days of Ruin.
I mean, that would have been the time.
I had arguments with of basically. So first of all, Days of Ruin was the first Advance Wars game I played, which
What year is this?
2008. So Days of Ruin is my number
Okay.
10. So Days of Ruin, it was my first Advance Wars. It is also a window into my what I'll call I like serious things era, which I have to apologize to Lunarsar for the comment about Wind Waker a month or so ago. On like, oh, you didn't play that because it's a baby game, whatever. I went through the same sort of phase. I didn't
Everyone
like games
did.
that were bright and colorful and poppy when I was a teenager because I was like, I want games that are serious. I want games that are, I'm coming off of Radiant Dawn. I want games
Yeah.
that can let me question what a game is. I want games that let me think about broader picture.
Everyone went through that phase. That's why games during that era all became like total hard edge games.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
And
Jack and Daxter 2 is the way it was. That's why Prince of Persia 2 is the way it was.
Yep.
Don't get me started on Shadow the Hedgehog.
Shadow the
I was going to say
Hedgehog.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
The Edge,
Ow,
yeah.
the
And
Edge.
to be fair, I will
Which is
totally
$100 now. I saw at a retro store, but
Yeah.
But no, I wasn't upset because, like I said, I was going through that phase, and I like Wind Waker
Yeah.
now. So
Yeah, to be fair, I will totally admit Days of Ruin was clearly an attempt to capitalize on that. I'm not saying it wasn't.
edgier.
I will say that if you actually played it and followed the plot with, what levels of like suspension of disbelief you had to do, it actually told a very interesting post-apocalyptic plot that I'm sure by a lot of post-apocalyptic like war and plague and all these types of things stories is pretty typical, pretty generic. But again, it being one of the first times I was really exposed to that sort of thing in media left an impression. I remember a lot about it. But I also like the way that they handled a lot of the mechanics of Advanced Wars, twisted and changed and rebalanced. I liked having the COs, like, where you paid for, put them on a unit, it buffed the unit and those around them, and then you had to fight with that unit and those units around them to charge up the CO power, and then the CO powers were not as outright game warping and game destroying as other Advance Wars games, particularly Dual Strike, which I did later go back and play through all the other Advance Wars games, but I still like Days of Ruin the best, just because I think it has that unit balance, that feel of it, that feel that the board matters, that all these things matter. And sure, maybe there's, you get into people that are like high level, like competitive Advanced Wars players, and they can say, oh, it's a solved game. I don't know. I had a lot of fun. And I went through on my YouTube channel, S ranking every single map, both campaign and bonus map in that entire grid. That took a while, but I did it, and I still like the game afterwards. So,
if you can say that, then yeah, that's definitely a game for you.
Metro map can eat my butt, but I still like the game.
Okay, we only have 3 holes left. We have a giant 10-year gap between 86 and 96.
I've
We
got
have
a question.
I will say the game that is at number 2, I will be surprised if anyone has even heard of.
Okay,
I was going to ask, are there any point-and-click adventures?
No.
Okay.
Not... Okay, the game at number 13 I would not describe as a point-and-click adventure. That's not primarily what it is, but there are arguably elements of it, like adventure game elements in there.
Interesting.
What
And I feel like
what type of game is it? Let's just try and narrow it down because we're now at the nitty gritty.
Okay, 2014 release. This is game number 13. It is an RPG.
Okay.
If I had to define it stylistically, because RPG is way too vague.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like
It
doesn't
is
really narrow it.
a first-person grid movement RPG,
Huh.
First person grid move.
which narrows it down a heck of a lot.
Wait, is it Valkyria Chronicle?
No, I never played Valkyria. I've been
Valkyria
meaning to play
sounds
Valkyria.
person. That's
Oh, that
not
is
mean,
third person. You're right.
It's a strategy game. I've been meaning to play Valkyria, but
Could
I've
go in a
never did.
first-person camera, but yeah.
Right. No.
Sniper.
You're right. That is third person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, not
Huh.
Valkyria Chronicles.
First person grid movement.
First person. So like kind of a tactics sort of gameplay, like
It's real time.
real
But
time.
grid movement.
Grid movement.
Wait,
First
no.
person, real time. Smaller studio. Didn't make a lot of games.
Huh.
Was it that one launch title for like the Wii U?
I never had a Wii U. It was on
Okay.
PC.
Like I'm
First
thinking of
person.
Transistor, but that's not first person.
It's
No.
a game that I have 100% achievements on Steam.
All right, let's pull up the
I
Steam
will
list.
say the rest of these 3 games, yes, have all been featured at least at some point on my YouTube channel. I was going through and I was going to say like 12 or 13 of these 16 games I've at least put in like a bit of a thing on my YouTube channel, but pretty much all 3 of these games have me playing the game on my YouTube channel at some point.
Is viewing his Steam profile cheating?
No, we did it for Splice.
I feel like at this point,
And that depends on what you think is cheating.
That's
I will
why
allow
I
it at this
asked.
point because,
No,
like I
not
said,
Splice.
these last 3
we did it for
games,
Baggins.
I will
Yeah.
argue, could be seen as pretty deep cuts.
I just realized I'm not even your friend.
I have gotten a friend request. I will accept that.
I'm not even your friend on Steam. I was just
Man,
like,
he's gatekeeping hard.
Yeah.
So you said you perfected it, and I'm looking through the list, and I don't think that would fit anything that I know of other than.
Wait a second. Is it Legend of Grimrock 2?
Yes.
What is
Grimrock
this?
2,
I've never heard of
2014.
this.
I don't
So-
think I know this. Yeah.
Legend of Grimrock
I've heard
2,
of this one.
It
I've
is
seen the
a
name. That's it.
first person load up. Let me find the one sec. Let me scroll through Steam. Not Steam, the Discord. Get to the Let's Meet Watch Together. Put in my name as me. Because for some reason I was not in the room yet.
Riveting.
And then load up my channel so I can find the
Why is
VOD of me
Baggins
playing
laughing?
this
What did you
game.
see in his Steam profile that made you
I
laugh?
just love that he has
That I've fully
platinum-
narrated.
I love that
My
he's platinum
process?
Cthulhu Saves Christmas.
I love it. No, seriously. I
Nice.
deeply considered whether the Cthulhu Saves series was going to be a part on my list. I decided it wasn't ultimately worth putting on there, but gosh dang it, do I not love those games?
They're so
Nice.
weird. I never beat Cthulhu Saves the World, but
Okay, I've
That's the thing,
added this from my live stream. I need an excuse to replay my favorite game, a favorite game, Grimrock 2 Chill Stream. If you want to, actually, I'll just switch to it,
You have the power.
and then I'll jump like, why was what's it called? Closed captions on for a second. Why are closed captions on? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway. So, first person RPG, you build a party of 4 characters, and you're stranded on an island together, chained up, so you have to basically be on a grid.
Wait, is this
Ta-
a dungeon crawler first person?
So,
grid?
Grimrock 1 was solely dungeon crawler. Grimrock
Okay.
2, they take that concept and then put you on an island, and so you're exploring the island in this grid-based kind of dungeon crawler-esque mode. But you're also going around solving a lot of puzzles, fighting monsters, and so there's elements of Myst in that, and just the exploration
that's what
around
it
the
was.
island, figuring out what's going on, piecing together, like, what is this island, what is its purpose, and then eventually, solving a ton of puzzles, a ton of first-person puzzles. There's a lot of puzzles that ultimately rely on, like, pixel hunting, but there's a lot of fun stuff of, like, hey, put this item in this specific area based on these cryptic clues that are here. There are some puzzles that are like, hey, in this one room there's going to be a note. In this completely other dungeon there's going to be like another hint. And then in this completely third area there's going to be this block that you have to push in a certain order of times in order to open the gate into the graveyard. And it's just like some convoluted, kind of crazy stuff, I will say. But
Okay.
I love this game so much because of just the feel that I've had of playing it and just getting fully immersed in the world and just solving the puzzles and all of that. Sorry, someone was saying something.
Question. I think I might have had something completely different in my head when you said first-person grid-based. So is it kind of like the old Eye of the Beholder games?
Let me.
Well, yeah, like
I think so.
Yeah, Dungeon
I've
Crawler
never played
or
Eye of
Might
the
and
Beholder,
Magic.
but like
Or like Ultima.
I think we have it playing here on the Watch Together. I'm going over
pretty
my
sure.
inventory.
I'm pretty sure Might and
I'll skip
Magic
forward
was
a little bit
turn-based.
here, like this. It's like, yeah, you're going through. It's a full 3D rendered dungeon, but it is grid based.
So it's kind of like Legends of Lore.
Well,
Also, never played that.
Lands of Lore.
Lands
I
of
will
Lore, right,
say,
right.
I am looking for more games in this genre, whatever you would call it.
This is very
play.
Etrian
particular.
Odyssey. Have you played
Dungeon-
that?
And it also
I've
reminds
not
me of
played
Ultima
Etrian Odyssey.
Underworld.
Not
There
played
was-
Ultima Underworld. I've
Ultima
played
Underworld
some
1 and
games that
2.
came out after this. Vaporum, as well. I played. That's like a steampunk, this type of game, but steampunk themed. But yeah,
Man, the
I
fact that you said first person grid based and I didn't think of Dungeon Crawler for so long is kind of embarrassing.
yeah. Like I said, I don't really know what else I would describe it as.
Yeah.
Well, it's a first person dungeon crawler is what I call these styles of games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dungeon crawler, and the first one definitely dungeon crawler. This one is basically dungeon crawler, but because you're on the open island instead, it was like
It's not
I
technically a
debated
dungeon.
whether it was a
but
dungeon that you're crawling. But yeah,
I
but I agree that genre-wise, it fits dungeon crawler pretty closely, pretty well.
It looks a lot like the old Ultima Underworld games. Although
Yeah,
the movement wasn't nearly as smooth back then, of course.
Oh,
Well, and this
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
I mean, this is what the original Might and Magic games look like as well.
Yeah, but
Okay.
if I
Not
recall correctly,
heroes in Might and Magic.
I'm not
as a
talking. I'm not
spin-off.
talking. I'm not talking Heroes of Might and Magic because my brother played the original Might and Magic games, and I'm pretty sure those were turn based. At least the combat.
Might and Magic 3 wasn't.
Well, let's see. Let's try and fill the rest of this out because we are actually already over time. But I
Yeah,
don't care for
2
these
games
episodes.
left.
So give us the console for 7.
Is it GameCube?
For
Yeah,
7, it is on PC. Both these
PC.
games are PC games.
Both
PC.
PC. Okay.
Okay.
that makes it hard.
Okay, I'm gonna throw a shot in the dark. Is it Deus Ex?
No.
Ooh, that'd be cool,
Okay.
like the original Deus Ex. But yeah,
I don't
I
know if it
think a
came out
PC
before or
game-
after Pokemon
Say-
TCG.
And this, mostly I'm giving you a stronger hint here because, we're hitting time or over time. I am playing this game right now.
So it has to be something. Don't look.
Like
Don't
as
look,
we speak.
don't look at it.
Yes.
don't think about it.
No, don't
Don't
look at
even
it.
think like
I-
you're thinking about
It's
it.
not showing what he's playing right now anyway.
Okay, good.
It's
trying to
probably
think-
not on
not in
Steam.
Steam.
Duh.
You
How
probably
have
got
I-
it through GOG.
Because it's not Steam.
Okay.
I'm not
okay.
playing it through Steam.
How have I forgotten? You talk about RuneScape. How have we not guessed RuneScape?
Yep.
Oh,
Ah.
right.
Yeah.
I forget RuneScape
yeah.
exists.
By the way, Mythril, just so
Old
you know, Lands of
school
Lore is on
RuneScape.
sale right now, 1 and 2 for $1.50 on GOG.
Was that
so.
2002?
I'm sorry, what?
RuneScape. Is that 2002?
Technically, the first release of it was 2001, is what I have
Okay.
on here. Though, technically, if you want to get... Like, I can't necessarily put solely old school RuneScape because I played way back when, before it was split off into old school. And old school RuneScape, as we know it now, like Classic WoW,
Yeah.
whatever, is 2013. But technically, what became RuneScape was 2001.
Well, I just
Yeah,
don't know how you
that's
can
what I had
possibly
listed.
play a game where you can't take damage ever.
Man, I actually
Look,
told
no-
myself to guess.
No one other
RuneScape
than
before
Settled
the
plays
stream.
Nightmare Mode.
Oh, that's not the typical gameplay. Sorry, I'm
No.
referencing. I was asking him. I'm disappointed. I forgot that he's the one who did this. So I found out our other roommate, he plays this, and so I keep thinking he's the one who introduced me to this video series, but it was Mythril. A guy named Settled on YouTube. It's a very interesting series called Nightmare Mode, where he plays a mod of RuneScape where basically if your character dies, it gets deleted essentially.
If you take any
Or,
damage,
sorry, if you take any
it gets
damage,
deleted.
if you get a damage,
That's
it gets
insane.
deleted. And so it's
Yeah.
all about, he has these goals of what he wants to accomplish. And it's more about him having to plan, 9 steps ahead to figure out how to go down a path to make sure he doesn't take damage. And it's oddly engaging.
Yeah.
It's ultimate
So-
Nuzlocke.
Old school RuneScape, or RuneScape, I guess, initially, I started playing in like 5th or 6th grade, I want to say. And I remember having to basically barter with my parents that I would be responsible online so that they would allow me to play this game. Just free to play, not even membership yet, just free to play. But they would allow me to play this massively multiplayer online role-playing game.
And it was such a grind, is what I remember.
13 years old. Oh, yeah.
This game was
I never got
incredibly
anywhere
grindy.
as a kid. Like, nowadays, I have an account that has, like, way too many hours put into it and way too many things done in it. Still not maxed. Still not, like, full endgame bossing or anything. But
None of us understand what that's like.
exactly. Exactly. No one's ever played an MMO before. It's fine. But both the memories as a kid and how much, I'll be frank, I'm pretty sure that if there is any MMO that's going to be my forever game, it is just going to be this game. I have a hard time expressing why I like it to people that don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
But for people that get it, they will immediately know why I like it, if that makes sense. Because it's such a hard sell to be like, hey, here's an MMO where you have really long grinds of doing the same monotonous task often over and over again, but your progress is always there. It's never reset by a new patch. You're never like, hey, all my stuff is useless now. You can always come back. Even if you've taken a break for months or years, your account is always there. You can always come back. There's always more grind to be had in RuneScape. And so I've definitely fallen hook, line, sinker into that. And like I said, I'm bank standing as we speak.
So,
Okay.
so the allure of RuneScape is that it doesn't get updates, so you don't have to worry about them.
No, it gets updates.
It gets updates.
But the updates they get are expansional and additional. They are not power creep level updates. At least old school
okay.
RuneScape. I don't know about
Okay.
RuneScape 3. No one knows what RuneScape 3 is doing anymore. But old school RuneScape, whenever they do introduce something that is, quote, power creep, it is always like the most marginal power creep, power increase they can do. Because they want every piece of content to be useful, at least at some point of your journey, because it's not a game where it's like, hey, level 1 to 100 or level 1 to whatever. It's a game where you have your account and every single skill has levels 1 to 99 on it. And as you're leveling that skill, you're unlocking new things. And as you are
Can you
leveling
level up
up,
jumping?
I
agility,
knew
so
that was
your
coming.
run energy decreases slower. Not jumping per se. This is not Morrowind.
Just gonna say that design philosophy is
Oblivion.
actually pretty unique.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
it lets you
yeah,
avoid
definitely.
conversations with
Old-
Mitchell.
Keep old builds viable like that.
Yeah, and so it's like you have content that came out in 2007, 2008, at least initially, that is still played to this day, either because first of all it's just fun content, second of all because the drops are useful in and of themselves, or third because they do this a lot where they will take drops from older content that used to be best in slot but are scaled out by quite a bit, and you can break them down into pieces that you add to another thing in order to make the new best in slot. So basically it's like, hey, you want your best in slot, you have to grind both the old content and the new content to get both things, and now you have your best in slot. Whereas either one of them could be good and like close to best in slot, but if you want the true best, you have to do both of them.
Okay.
Type thing. And I think that sort of design philosophy of being very in some ways future proofing, but making sure that they're never making something that is just going to get chucked out into the bin a year later is why the game is seeing still to this day so many more players. Like, we're breaking record player numbers now, which is mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, no, that is. Okay, you said this other one. You're going to be surprised if we get it, but I think that underestimates some people who are in this room. So you said
I
it's
will
PC,
say
right?
it's PC. It came out in
Okay.
1995, the year I was born. I have a long series, old series on my YouTube channel where I finally
Okay, and
complete the
let's
game.
not look. Don't look at that.
Yeah.
What genre game is it?
It is a dungeon crawler through and through.
Okay.
Okay.
Dungeon Crawler on the
95.
PC,
That was not a series that was not a
And it
genre
was
that I
not-
played much of.
It
Was
is
it-
not a name line, it does
Is
not
it-
have the Dungeons and Dragons name on it.
Is it one of the Mac Venture games?
Don't know what those are.
Okay,
Like-
is
It's a game that I-
Shadowgate.
No.
it a mud?
Kind of. It's like a single player mud. I think it literally took some code from
Single-player mud?
muds.
Like
Like-
Adventure or Zork?
Yeah, from what I understand, based on some people I talked to in the community of it, the creator of it took a lot of code from Avatar, I want to say, and put it into this, but I'm not
Okay,
sure
you
if
say
Avatar was
Avatar.
in the mud.
Are you referring to the Ultima Avatar?
I don't know. Maybe? I don't know.
Because Avatar is a primary character of the Ultima series, one of like
Mhm.
three.
Yeah.
But I don't know a game called Avatar.
I'm not sure, to be perfectly honest.
Is it text based or?
In '95,
It
no,
is-
it wouldn't be.
So
Well, I'm
it
just saying
is-
he said a mud, which a mud
Well, yeah,
is purely
the mud-
text based.
The mud is what threw me, yeah.
It's primarily text-based, but it does have windows and images functionality. So you can't run it in DOSBox. You have to emulate an old version of Windows 3.1.
Windows 3.1? Oh my
You have to emulate
gosh.
Windows 3.1 inside of DOSBox in order to play this.
Like, there was only one game I played that fit that description. It was called Castle of the Wind, but I don't think that would be.
Not
I was
Castle
thinking
of the
Castle
Wind.
as well too, but
I
I
think
really like that game.
Castle's
it
older
might have
than
been on the
than-
same PC Gamer demo disc as Castle of the Wind. Again,
if
it's a
I
game that
recall
I
correctly, Bill, Castle of the Wind was a remake of the original Castle.
Yeah. So yeah, 1995 dungeon crawler, mostly text based, I would say, but with some JPEG images in it.
Wait, you said he got code from Avatar? From what I'm finding online, that's a 1979 mud that was on the Plato server on at the University of Illinois.
Someone in the community that later formed around this game said that whoever
So-
developed this took from Avatar and just
It's probably
Put it
that.
in
It's probably
directly.
this.
Okay, so it is largely so it's kind of like a mud, but it
But
runs off of
graphical.
DOS. It runs off of DOS, not Unix. Interesting. But it's single player.
Yeah, I don't
Yes.
know. Yeah.
I am, yeah.
like I said, this game I was convinced no one would have ever heard of before.
Okay, what
Let
is
me
it?
know when you're ready to rip the band-aid off.
Hey, not yet. I'm looking
not
into.
yet? Okay.
I'm just waiting, seeing if I can find legacy.
What's the
On-
not genre that I'm looking for? Setting.
Vaguely generic
medieval?
fantasy.
Yeah.
Vaguely generic medieval fantasy. The setting
Cas-
is,
Castle
I
of the Wind
guess-
kind of.
I guess I would say
There's a lot of that,
off-brand original D&D.
Well, that's what I thought Heroes of Might and Magic was.
Dragon Quest.
No.
That's a different
I
Dragon
don't think
Quest.
those were on the PC.
And when I say original D&D, I mean OD&D.
I'm talking about the tabletop Dragon Quest.
Not even advanced.
Record of Lotus
Maybe
War?
advanced, but but
I
like
thought that was an anime.
early.
Okay, yeah. Wait, hang on.
It was based off of a tabletop series that
It
was
was?
based off of D&D.
I did
What-
not know
Because
that.
Japan didn't have D&D licensing, or there was some weird thing going on with how D&D worked in Japan. So some guy just kind of took it and, I'm going to make my own. And he created his
Baggins, you
own.
were-
And it
I
turned into
have a
Rector
guess.
Lotus
You
4.
have a guess.
And this is based on Google Fu and another thing. Mordor, The Depths of Dejanol.
You got it.
You Googled your way in. Oh, wow.
I
Post.
delved into Wikipedia and found
I
my way.
admit I have never heard of it.
Oh, sorry. Say that name of that game again.
No.
Mordor, The
Mordor.
Depths of Dejanol. It's Dejenol.
It actually came up in my search history. What? Why?
Yeah, look at this.
Do not remember ever looking for this, but this looks like that time frame.
Now, what I'm looking at here says it runs flawlessly in Windows XP.
I'm sure.
Are you
it
calling
does
him a
because
liar?
Well, I'm sure it does
little bit.
because XP still has DOS hooks in it.
I am impressed that you
But
have
anything
found one.
newer than XP doesn't have DOS hooks anymore.
and something that's clearly in the Lord of the Rings canon.
So
No,
that's
no, it's
another thing, is that
it's actually not in that Mordor.
future games released by this individual had to take away the Mordor title, and they were just called Demise.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
I think it was Demise was what he was then called, like his in progress sequel that like either was like never finished or something like that.
Now it says here that the platform is Windows though.
It
Yeah.
says it was released in 9. What I'm looking at here on Abandonware DOS website,
This
it
looks like Windows for work groups, friends.
It says a
Mhm.
fantasy RPG game released in 99 for Windows 3.x, runs flawlessly on Windows XP. Here's a fact if you want to play it on a virtual machine. It's a mix of first-person and
You talking
top-down
about
perspective dungeon
Demise or
crawlers.
about
No, it says
Mordor?
Depths of Dejanol.
Interesting. Yeah, the original release, from what I could gather and was familiar with, was 95. But
Yeah,
No, it
this
says
says
95.
this says released 95.
I heard someone say 99. So,
No.
but yeah, this game is a time vampire because of course it is. It's based on a mud. Of course, it's a time vampire. This was one of those games that I played on my dad's old PC Gamer demo discs. They had a shareware version that got you to level 3 of the dungeon. And if you wanted more, you had to buy it. And the person who owns the IP still, is still holding on to it and is still selling it. So it is technically not fully abandonware. So legally,
Wow.
you still have to purchase it, even though you will get a box sent to you with a CD-ROM. Good freaking luck installing
Wow.
that game nowadays.
I've got a
And
I've got an optical
many people
drive.
in the community have offered to remake it for modern systems, and he keeps shutting them down and giving them legal cease and desist because he's totally working on a remake of it or a remaster of it
Oh gosh.
that is just around the corner and has not appeared
No.
for a decade.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
listed here as not Abandonware.
The owner of the IP is not the creator though.
I believe right now the current owner of the IP is not the initial creator.
Okay, because it says, yeah, it's one of those, I love it when you get to this kind of game and it just says developer David Allen, publisher
Yeah.
David Allen, rather than
Developer,
some
publisher
company.
David Allen, but is now
Doesn't say
owned by Declan.
Passion project
something.
for sure.
So you can find it on Declan's Domain, a website that looks and feels like it was made in the 90s and
Was
probably
this the-
was.
Oh my gosh.
Was this the first cave story?
No.
I am
Cave Stories.
Fascinated
but
by this.
Well, when I say cave
Yeah.
story, I mean the first project developed from the ground up entirely by a single person.
I don't know, actually.
Well, Tetris was that, and that was.
I
old
yeah,
games.
I wouldn't say yeah.
Yeah, and
There
the communists
certainly
did
are
it.
others.
So if they can do that, real people can do it too.
But yeah,
For a
so
long
this
for a
game-
long time, all games were like that.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, I don't know. You call Pajetnov a communist, but he's totally a capitalist today.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
as well
So
he
this
should
game-
be.
Indeed. This game catches a spot on my list, one, because of just how long I've played this game for. I played it since I was 7 or 8 years old at least, maybe earlier, maybe I was even younger.
Oh, gee. So this is
Um,
core memory for you.
Core memory. It's a
Yeah,
game I was never any good at.
old roguelike.
Older on, we did end up actually calling in for I think one of either my or my brother's birthday and getting the physical CD so we could get the full release version. And it wasn't until literally like 2018 or 2019 that I finally, quote, finished the game. I found and killed the final boss, because the final boss is also a random spawn, because of course it is.
I'm sorry.
Prince of
The
Devils.
boss is the final. Is a random spawn.
Yeah, Asmodeus,
Oh.
the strongest enemy at the bottom of the dungeon, can only be found randomly in a stud room on floor 15. And
Well,
stud rooms are rooms that give you monsters that are one floor below. So they are the, quote, floor 16 monsters. True endgame stuff.
Well, that's the mud peeking through, you know.
That's mud. This game will have you grind and grind and grind and level up. And are you familiar with the concept of pin? Of being on
I-
pin
I usually write things with
from old school D&D, OD&D. There was a concept called pin where you could not level up more than once on a trip to the dungeon. So if you got enough experience to level up twice, you would be hard capped at 1 experience point away from that second level up. You are on pin and can no longer gain experience until you go back to town to level up.
I forgot about that.
So this
Oh,
is
man.
a game where you grind and then go back to town to level up and restock and heal. Well, we'll get into that later. And then go back into the dungeon and grind and just keep going back and forth. It is 1 dungeon, 15 floors. The floors scale like exponentially in difficulty every one you go down. So floor 2 will kick your teeth in unless
Do
you're like
you even
level
get
30.
like a nice spell like Rune of Return or anything, or do you have to walk all the way?
You eventually get some teleportation magic, but if you teleport yourself into a rock wall, your character is rocked, and they will, even if you retrieve them with a seeker
Good
with
heavens.
retrieve soul, you will always raise with complications. Now, your character will die all the time, and you can get resurrected back at the town morgue or at a cast resurrection, and you can keep on going. Sometimes when you raise, you will lose a point of constitution. You can
Oof.
get it back with a potion. It's fine. Permanent stat gain and drain is just a thing here. But if you are rocked, or a small percentage chance that increases as your character's age reaches their race's max age, you can raise with complications, which randomly sets all of your stats to very low values and takes away a lot of your hit points and basically bricks your character forever.
Oof.
There is only one way to truly lose a character in this game, to truly have them become unplayable, and that is raising with complications. This game is brutal. To say it doesn't hold your hand implies that there is a capability of hand holding, but it
Yeah.
tries.
It doesn't
has a
hold your
whole
hand. It cuts it off
built-in-
until all it is a nub of hatred.
It has a whole like notepad FAQ of like how to play this game, and here's this information. But a lot of that information is not necessarily wrong, but is very surface level. This is a game that I've played this so much that it has become a fixation at various points in my life. I would argue I have near encyclopedic knowledge of a lot of the various vague, stupid intricacies of how this game works. Some of its bugs, some of its interactions. I don't have like all the math memorized, but I know the vague concepts of how spell levels are calculated and how many spell points a spell will cost based on what level you got it at. And this game is a monster.
It's incredibly crunchy for a youngin' to be playing.
Look, I surface level played this. This wasn't until but I played this regularly on and off throughout my entire life. I have learned this game over time. To the point of my YouTube series on this game is probably the most watched thing this game has ever seen. Like, I am probably the person
And
who
all,
knows.
and all the
guy.
comments and all the comments are the same thing. It's like, I thought I was alone.
Had I not switched over and become the Fire Emblem guy, I would, and
You'd
still
be-
probably am to some
you'd be
people,
the Mordor
the
guy.
Depths of Dijonal guy. Exactly.
Nice.
And that is the true deep, deep cut that makes up who I am as a gamer and why it is a game you must play and understand in order to get me.
I am impressed that you got one in this sort of era, in this sort of style that stumped me.
Look, man, those PC Gamer demo CDs were chock full of
Oh yeah.
everything.
I never touched, but like maybe half of what would come on them. So yeah.
But like I said, I was pretty sure that this game would stump everyone unless there was a random small chance that one of you somehow played this as well and were genre savvy, but I highly doubted it because of how niche this game is.
This is the kind of game that would have caught me at that
Uh-huh.
age.
Yeah, I probably would have gotten into this if I had known about it.
And that's how I know I'm among friends here, is because you look at this game and you're like, I get why you liked it.
I look at this game and I'm like, I want to look into this.
I look at this game and say, but why though?
Well, I have a 52 or whatever part YouTube series on this game.
Indeed.
I look at this game and like, but I already have a job.
Yeah.
I think
if
I
I
would
wanted-
fire it on
Oh
this.
yeah, that's why I probably won't ever actually go
Also,
into
one
beating
very
it.
slight fun story about this before we head out is that this game also is linked in my mind with Nintendo DS Picto Chat. You may be asking, how the heck is that? Does that happen? Well, my brother and I had computers in 2 different rooms, and we both, had installed this game and would play it with our characters, and we would race each other down the dungeon and see who could kill the most unique monsters. We would there are unique layers on every
Uh-huh.
floor. Who could visit the most layers and kill the most unique monsters, and we would race each other. And instead of shouting to each other across the room or whatever, we would just write in PictoChat, floor 4 done, floor 5 done, and send it. And
Reminds me of messaging Tyler in World of Warcraft when he's 2 feet to my right.
exactly.
For shame.
But yeah, there you have it. That's my list.
Okay.
And I look at this and I
Comments or
say,
complaints, I guess.
I look
That's
at
a
this and
unique
all I
list.
say is, man, if I wanted a job, I'd play EVE Online.
Yeah.
Ah, well,
If you wanted a job, you'd also play old school RuneScape, to be fair.
True.
I always think of that comic with the learning curve for EVE Online.
Mm-hmm.
Or as Splice has written, I'd play StarCraft.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is my
StarCraft.
list. I know for someone who's mostly known for Fire Emblem, some of these games make a lot of sense. Some of these games probably come out of nowhere. But
They
It's
come
who
out of
I
nowhere,
am.
but they don't shock me.
No, but this is the whole point of this entire series is
Yep.
it's no, because even this is interesting because this is someone we don't know as well. And so when it was me and Baggins, it was like, okay, I wonder what he'll pick, because you're fairly confident you know the types of things they'll pick. This is more interesting because it's like, all right, I'm going to be able to see deeply into the soul of this man.
Well, this is because it's new information for us. Because again, when it was you and me, it was like, okay, most of these are things we've had long conversations about. And so this is just sort of like, okay, I am learning something new here.
No, this was good.
Yeah.
these are all games that, frankly, I would love to have long conversations about, but with half of them, no one's played them!
Yeah, we'd have to, yeah.
Hence, I take every opportunity to glaze them to people.
Have you
as
heard about
they
our
come
Lord and
up.
Savior, the depths of Dejanol?
That is the one game that will remain if you bring it up, I will talk about it, but I will not inflict that on anyone.
I have played half of these games.
Okay, so, I was going to do something else for our next episode, but I was inspired by our conversation today. And
dear.
I think next week instead, we're going to do an episode on cheat codes and cheating in games. This is going to be a confessional.
Oh, that could be fun. That could be fun, actually.
Yes, it could.
Cheat codes, cheating, does glitch abuse count?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
That'll be... And we we might get to the point where we decide cheat codes need to be their own thing, but it's time to confess. Okay, but before that, we have to determine who the next 16 games is going to be.
Can't be me.
Can't be you. So there's 3 people here who haven't done it. So I have a D12 in front of me. If I roll a 1 or a 4, it'll be breakfast. 1 through 4, it'll be breakfast. 5 through 8, it'll be Lunarsar. 9 through 12, it'll be Petrivka. Here we go. It is a 3 breakfast. You're going to be next up on the list.
Oh, wow.
Woohoo! I need to know beforehand when that's happening.
Yeah. We'll plan it. We'll plan it out. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Start looking now, though.
I've already got a couple of ideas.
Start your list early because
You have to winnow it
longer
down.
than
it's narrowing.
You have to winnow it.
hard.
You know,
like I
I
said,
don't know. I don't know if my list is going to have any game made after 2015. To be perfectly honest.
Oh,
Fair
there
enough.
we go.
Huh.
Yeah, my honorable mentions that we didn't get to.
And it's going to be very heavily weighted to early 90s.
We talked about most of them, but the 2 that we didn't mention, or I guess 3, Darkest Dungeon, Descent, and Disco
Oh.
Elysium
I was.
were on my honorable
Oh,
mentions.
Disco Elysium is such a treat. It really is.
I decided that I had to leave it as an honorable mention because I only played it a couple months ago, and it still hasn't really had time to see how I think about it going forward.
Uh-huh.
But it's I
It
played that
was
2 years ago, and it's still in my mind.
mhm.
All
It's a
right.
great experience, but it is a heavy experience.
Well, Mythril, how about you promote yourself a little bit? Since we've been showing off your work all night.
If you want to see more of these, streams, I don't really stream a lot. I make videos, or my old videos on More to the Depths of Dejanol, or Total Annihilation, or Diablo 1, or any of the 12 or 13 of the 16 games I've mentioned. YouTube.com/Mythril Zenith is where to see them. I mostly today do deep dives into discussions on video game design and that sort of thing from a top-down perspective. But if you look in my back catalog of history, I've been making videos on and off since 2013, so you're bound to be able to find some of these games on that channel if you look hard enough.
Perfect. Breakfast, do you want to promote anything?
Nothing comes to mind.
Okay, Baggins.
Hang on. I'm actually looking
Okay,
something
Lunarsar.
Yeah, I'll promote Lizzie Petrichor on Twitch, where she does shiny hunting with chill vibes.
Okay. I've got mine.
Okay,
There's
Baggins.
there's a YouTube channel that I've been watching lately just called Target Audience, and they had never seen Star Trek. They started at the original series, and they are now making their way through season 6 of Next Generation and season 1 of Deep Space Nine. And they've just got some really interesting takes, so check it out.
Okay. Petrivka.
Nothing to promote. Just happy to be here.
All right. And you all can find me on twitch.tv/splicestream or Kick of the same name, and my YouTube of the same name, where we are still working our way through Pro Amiibo League 6, which has been a lot of fun, and you should come watch, because watching Amiibos punch each other is great.
There is.
Well, guys, thank you, Mythril. I think you and all of us